Hello and welcome back to the Curios Cast, episode 3 of season 2. As always, I'm George and I'm joined by Rob and Tom.
Hello.
Guys.
Yo.
How are you both?
Welcome back, everyone. I'm good.
That was weird. What happened there? Who said, how are you both? And who said, welcome?
George.
I said, how are you both? And Tom said, welcome back.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like, it's not been fucking ages since we last did this.
No.
So, it,
Well on schedule.
yeah.
Two on schedule.
Going ahead of time.
It's
Yeah.
fuck, it is almost 2 on schedule.
Yeah.
What was it you did earlier on when we was at work? And I'll try and be like non-specific, but you said something along the lines of like, working better as a team, and like he was talking about work, and I thought he was talking about the podcast,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, Tom, like it's a bit serious, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
we need to be more on schedule and like run, working. I was like, thinking, fuck.
Yeah, because we were talking about the podcast, and
Yeah.
then I started talking to someone else about work-related things, and I was like, I think as a team, what we can improve on is this. And like, Rob thought I was just getting super serious about the podcast, like referring to us three as a team.
Yeah, it's something about
yeah.
lateness as well. Like,
Yeah,
I was like, shit,
yeah.
jeez. It's like, he's really taking it seriously.
Well, I think it was because last time we didn't finish recording until after midnight.
Was
That's
it
probably the
after
lateness.
midnight?
I think it was just before, maybe.
We didn't,
It was
we
fucking
didn't get
late,
out
yeah.
until
I didn't get
after.
home until.
Yeah.
gone
I didn't get home
midnight,
till gone midnight. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the kind of dedication we have.
It
to this
absolutely
podcast.
is, yeah. And this time, I mean, even though all the microphones were all set up, it still took us about an hour and a half to set up just the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
It's just the cameras, but
Yeah,
It's all right. It's all
So,
good fun.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone who's watching on YouTube appreciate the amount of time that it takes.
All
us
those
to put this
30
together.
views.
No, we're actually, the statistics are good, Rob.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah, give us a little lowdown. Love used to do this, didn't he? She gives us a little statistics
I
lowdown.
don't want to be like too boring with the statistics, but I think overall, like in the last week, like a couple hundred views on the videos that we've put
That's
up.
actually pretty good.
The podcast as a whole, we upload the entire episode,
Yeah.
and then I uploaded each of our conspiracy theories as a separate one.
Right.
Both of yours done really well because a lot of people have been searching Bob Lazar and aliens and conspiracies.
Yeah, yeah.
So yours are coming up and people are watching them. I think like 50, 60 views each.
Nice.
Yeah, George's one, I think, is storming ahead at like 65 views in a couple of days.
That mind control.
Which isn't bad for like, us three who've only just made our channel last week.
Yeah, there you go.
Got a
Yeah.
couple of comments, didn't we?
Couple comments.
We
There
should
is someone
shout
who
out,
wants to come on the show. Yeah. What's his name?
Taints.
Taint something.
Something Inc. Taints.
Big up Taint Sink.
Tainting. Yeah.
We did watch your video. If you're watching, we watched your video where you
You drink that
did
bubbly drink.
Yeah, bubbly drink
Yeah.
review. It was
I
good.
didn't say that.
Yeah,
No,
the
I didn't say
audio,
that.
we'll show you after. Yeah,
Yeah.
the audio is awful. It's good.
It's great.
Well, it's intentionally awful.
Yeah,
It's quite
it's
fun.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So thanks everyone who's been watching on YouTube. Thanks everyone who's been listening as well. But if you haven't been watching on YouTube, go watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom put in maximum effort
Yeah.
into that editing.
Yeah.
Big ups. Yeah.
Probably too much effort, really. Like, I'm not getting paid for this shit.
Wait till
you're
that
paying.
ad revenue comes streaming in.
yeah.
I don't think we're.
It'll
I
be
don't
worth
think we're
it.
getting monetized.
We'll have to
Only
behave.
about- only
start
about-
behaving. Yeah.
Yeah, and only about another 9,930
Alright.
views or something like that. And is what you need. You need like 10,000 views or something. Or it's an amount of hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Or-
1,000
Yeah.
subscribers and then like a certain amount of hours watched. I think it's 10,000.
yeah.
How many?
The hours watched isn't too hard to do.
Because we've got a 2-hour video,
subscribers
mate.
now.
Yeah.
10 subscribers, maybe around there.
12.
12.
So yeah, only like 9,980.
3 of those are us. 3 of those are us.
Yeah.
I subscribed from 2 of my channels. No. Wicked. Yeah, we got some catch ups from last week.
Yeah, so we got some fact
Last
checking to do.
time. We'll say week. It's never
Yeah,
ever been a
it's
week.
We do always say week,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not a weekly
No,
podcast.
it's
yeah.
never
Last
been a-
month.
Actually, last month. Yeah.
Yeah. So last month you two anyway had a little dispute about the difference between a courgette and a marrow. So George
I'm hyped for this.
George
yeah.
was talking about his big courgettes that he's been growing in his farm.
his
What's it
farm.
called? An allotment.
An allotment.
Yeah. So and he said big courgettes, and then Rob said, when does a courgette become a marrow?
Yeah.
And we all was like, I don't know. And
Well, George was like, they don't. They're different things.
yeah, Rob said, I'm pretty sure a marrow is just when a courgette gets really big. But he said, at what point do you call it a courgette and a marrow? Like, what's the cutoff? And George said, I can tell you now you're wrong. He said that they are completely different things. So I looked it up. I'm on BBC Good Food. I also looked it up on Wikipedia as well. So I trust both them sources. BBC Good Food defines a marrow as a more mature courgette.
Whoa! One like a
Right. Yeah, with a creamy flesh and mild taste.
Creamy flesh. You want my creamy flesh,
Yeah.
don't you, for that?
So how come you can buy marrows separate? It's seeds.
I don't know. So it says the question is, what is a marrow? And it says a marrow is a cucurbit, which means it's from the same family as the melon, cucumber, squash, and courgette. The marrow is a courgette that has been left on the plant to grow a little longer. Likewise, if you pick a marrow when small, it's classed as a courgette.
So that would suggest they're distinct things.
But
1 second. For not wanting to sound like Joe Rogan, you got to be a bit more directional with your microphone.
Okay.
So, yeah.
there we go. That's pretty
Sorry,
much what
Joe.
it says.
It's classic Rogan. Isn't it?
So someone even asked the question on the BBC Good Food forum as well, and asked, basically, what's the difference between a courgette and a marrow? And someone replied, Gareth Austin, who
Big
I
up.
think is like a writer for BBC Good Food, and he says, Daniel, fair plays to you. You're a vigilant fellow. Courgettes are commonly described as marrows harvested young. However, there are some slight horticultural differences between courgettes and marrows. Courgettes tend to be bushy and thin-skinned, whereas marrows tend to trailing and have a thicker skin. A good type of marrow to look out for is a spaghetti marrow, blah, 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 blah.
So they are different then.
So
but
My
really,
initial hype was...
in
but
reality,
there's-
you've not answered the question.
yeah, you've just
It
fucked
seems
us harder.
like no one knows is
Yeah.
really the answer.
So they're pretty similar, but...
Also not.
Yeah, like so then you go to like the Wikipedia page for a marrow, and it says a marrow is a vegetable, the mature fruit of a certain Cucurbita pepo cultivars.
Bless you.
The immature fruit of the same or similar cultivars is called courgette, or zucchini in the States,
In incorrect
Yeah.
language.
US of A.
Yeah.
Then they call it zucchini in
full-
Australia as well.
For all Australian and American listeners,
You're
that is
wrong.
the
Yeah, it
incorrect.
says
yeah.
zucchini in North America, Australia, Czechia, Italy, Germany, and Austria.
All wrong.
So just all the idiots, really.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
courgette.
think it's because zucchini is Italian. That's the Italian word for courgette.
Zucchini.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was just used. I don't know. Weird.
What did the Italians call it then? Zucchini.
Zucchini, yeah.
All right. Maybe we're a bit wrong. then.
Zucchini.
Where does the crop originate from?
I'm
That's
not
the
too
question.
sure. Have you got that? Have you got those? I reckon it's from somewhere.
What's the question?
Join us next month on Gardener's World.
I think it's from the Eastern
Oh,
Mediterranean.
Is that-
You want
around
the etymology of
yeah, I want the
zucchini?
etymology. Yeah.
Don't have that.
Oh.
We'll check that on next week on next month on next month's
Next month
Was
on
We
Tom's
Chatting Shit last
Fact World.
episode.
Yeah.
But then, on the Wikipedia page for zucchini, it isn't like there isn't a Wikipedia page for courgette. It's called zucchini on Wikipedia, so they're obviously dumb as well.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy there.
But it basically says, it's the exact same thing as a marrow. So there's the jury's still out.
Right, we'll have to do
basically.
some more.
Yeah, so sorry to disappoint.
I
This
might-
has made me
it
more
seems like-
frustrated. This hasn't
Yeah.
answered any.
I
of
might
my
actually
questions.
write into like, what's that? Is it is Gardener's World? Isn't it on BBC Four or something?
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe,
actually
yeah.
going to write in a question to that,
Yeah,
and
We'll have to.
I'll see if we can cut that. If it's me talking, is that copyrighted still?
Nah,
no,
surely not.
Deciding right now.
nah.
As long as you pay your.
It's the BBC. It's open. It's out there.
Actually, it won't be me talking.
You don't
will
have
it?
to
It'll be
pay-
them reading out a
You
question.
don't have to
from
pay
me.
for the radio. You don't have to have a radio license, do you? So be fine. Just clip it.
I'm not sure it works like that. That's how copyright content works. If you don't have to pay for it, it's yours. Billboard walking past in the street. I had to pay to look at that billboard.
No, but
I'll just use it.
with the you have to have a TV license. Obviously, if
Yeah.
you clip that, then maybe. It's a
No,
bit
but
more
why
difficult.
would
Radio,
you
if you're-
get done for clipping other people's YouTube
But
videos?
if you're speaking, then it's you, isn't it?
Yeah, but I just realised it won't be me speaking, but it'll be someone reading out my question.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the
I'm going
times,
to phone in.
you do have the right to take copyrighted
Fair
material
use,
in fair
yeah.
use. Like
Yeah.
if it's not the whole like if there's context around it, but it's just these automated systems don't know the difference between
Yeah,
fair use
yeah.
and stuff, and that's where the trouble comes in.
Fucking boring, isn't it?
See, I was
Yeah.
going to say, this is
Yeah,
not interesting.
Exactly. Well,
This is-
okay. The next part of Was We Chatting Shit last episode is
Yes.
I asked Rob, or I asked you both really, where the word podcast comes from,
yeah.
because that's.
I said it was
yeah.
like iPod or something, didn't I?
Yeah, and then you said it came from the word iPod. It was a combination of iPod and broadcast, and that is true.
I'm full
podcast
of fucking knowledge,
is a-
aren't I?
Yeah, Wikipedia says that podcast is a portmanteau of a combination
Nice
of
word.
iPod
Hodgepodge.
and broadcast. It was first suggested by the Guardian columnist and BBC journalist Ben Hammersley, who invented it in February 2004 while writing an article for the Guardian. And then there was other possible names for a podcast. Someone else called it a netcast. They're obviously just idiots. Like he obviously called it a podcast, and someone else is like, "What about netcast?" And it obviously didn't pick up.
Didn't work. Yeah.
But yeah, he did just make it up when he was writing an article, because people did start uploading just audio clips of themselves to like RSS feeds, but there wasn't a name for it. So he called it podcast, and it just picked up from this one article.
So technically it existed before the iPod, but didn't really have a name.
Yeah. But it was like, as it was breaking on, like people just started uploading audio clips and uploading it to wherever, and just them talking. Yeah. But there wasn't a name for it. So he just wrote an article about it.
Popularised.
And I'm sure there was probably lots of different like possible names.
And
that was the one that stuck.
That's the one that took off. Yeah. There you go.
So that was that's our fact checks from last episode.
Some actual knowledge from the Curios Cast.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean we're still not.
Better slow down.
It's the only bit that you're going to get.
We still don't know the courgette marrow thing though.
Well, I'm going to write into Gardener's World.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that. Well, you should be like Keen Gardener from Essex, George.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, show him a picture of
in my allotment.
me with that
your
massive
giant courgette.
Yeah, in
or
my
marrow.
allotment, I was
Or
having a
marrow.
discussion. Yeah,
And
you can
just
fucking hell.
On the screen now, there'll be a picture of Tom with a massive courgette that I grew.
There won't be, because I'm not allowed to upload that photo
Why?
because of where it was taken.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
It won't be.
yeah, imagine me with
Sounds-
a
sounds
massive
that sounds
courgette.
really salubrious now,
It does,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, but massive courgette.
Yeah.
How long was it? It was as long as my girlfriend's arm.
it was
That's
as long-
all I know.
It was at least as long as my forearm. So
There you go. Look on YouTube
Like
to see
that.
how long George's forearm is.
massive, yeah.
Yeah, go to our YouTube because you're missing out. If
I'd say it's an average forearm
Mm,
in length.
yeah, you wish. Okay, who's first?
There wasn't any other business, was there?
No. Rob's sticky toffee pudding.
Sticky toffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
What
a
do you think,
snack.
guys?
Very
Delicious.
good. Very
Really
nice.
good. It's
Yeah.
It was
vegan.
alright, wasn't it?
It's very good.
Yeah.
It was all vegs.
I haven't really tried that many vegan desserts, to be honest, but that was really good.
Well, it was a fucking good one, wasn't it? Yeah. I as we were sort of joking about before the podcast that normally like Lynn, your girlfriend, provides us with baked goods.
Yeah, always
your,
very good.
Your girlfriend
Yeah.
made it last
She
week,
does
and you
most
sort
of
of
the work,
were
yeah.
also there.
Yeah.
And then this week you were like, "Oh, did Gina help out?" And I was just like, "Well, she was there." You know? No, to be fair, I went round there while she was at work and chucked together an aubergine katsu with one of George's aubergines from the allotment. It was
Lovely.
fucking good, and threw that little guy bad boy together. We did actually sort of both do it, but I'm taking the piss really.
Take
But
the credit.
I am more of the chef.
Yeah.
I like to think I am anyway. I
Nice.
just like to follow a recipe to the fucking T. That's all I can do. But it was good though, wasn't it? That's
I
what
thought
that
it was
works for
very good,
bacon. That's
yeah.
what you have to do with bacon. It's just painting by numbers.
I'm just
isn't
shit at bacon.
it? It's just painting by numbers. Just do what it
I
says.
can't paint.
Yeah, I'm colourblind.
It would have been better with ice cream.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But it was nice with the little toffee sauce as well.
Yeah. But
Lovely.
that and ice cream. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right,
Last-
mate.
yeah, I know. Cream
Careful, your
fresh.
jeans are very tight.
They are. And they're in exact opposite trousers to last podcast.
Yeah.
Last podcast they were open and flowy. This week they are extremely tight. Everyone's been
Extremely
commenting
tight.
on them all week.
Yeah.
They are in fact my girlfriend's trousers.
All week. You've been wearing them for
All week, all day,
Yeah.
all day
You
today.
did get a week worth of comments in one day.
I did
probably.
pretty much, yeah. But the comments were generally like, "What the fuck is that on your legs?" But then, explaining them my girlfriend's trousers, and they were like, "Yeah, to be fair, it kind of works, doesn't it?" So got away with it. Well, yeah.
So there's-
I wish Lawford was here, but Lawford doesn't even know.
I know,
He
it's
wasn't in
such a
all day
shame.
to know that
Oh,
I was
doesn't know.
wearing
Yeah,
my
shame.
girlfriend's
And there's
trousers.
no way that he would have made it this far into the episode.
No.
Yeah.
What, like 10 minutes? Too much for him. There's no theme for this episode. We're not focusing on any conspiracy theory or anything like that. We're just it's a classic weird news
Curios
Going
episode.
for an
Classic.
El
Yeah.
Clasico.
Yeah, just for some curious news.
And this isn't the spooky special. Spooky special is in the works.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah,
I know we said the next episode was the spooky special. It's not. Well, last time we said next time is the spooky special. It's not, but it is still coming. Don't worry.
Yeah, and it will be. It is actually a special because it's going to be a bonus episode. So extra content,
and it's going to be spooky. It's going to be spooky.
It's going to be spooky.
It will be fucking terrible.
I might even shit myself. To be honest.
All right, wicked. I think I'm going to go first then. On that,
go
note.
for it.
Crack on.
I was going to say because mine are spooky, but they're not. Mine involve jizz and bodily fluids.
Yes, yes. I'm involved. I'm sitting up.
I'm going to go for a little portrait, actually.
Whoa.
Feels like I'm reading a book. So my first one, again, it's one of those ones where kind of most of the point is in the headline, really. But there's a little bit more
That's all
depth.
you need.
Yeah, it is all you need.
I don't read further than the headline most of the time.
No, most of the time, get that done, save, and you read the rest, and you're like, oh, that was it. Anyway, Vietnam confiscates over 300,000 recycled condoms for sale.
It's one of mine.
That was one of mine.
That's the first time it's ever happened.
That is the first time it's actually ever happened, surprisingly. Well, we all know about this one, didn't we? That's fucking good. I was going to preface it by saying, like, you know, when you sort of joke about recycled toilet paper, and then, like, obviously it actually is recycled toilet paper, but it's not what it sounds like. This is what it fucking sounds like, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a raid at a warehouse led to the arrest of a woman who said she had been paid by the pound to recycle the... Oh, mate, how'd you say this word, George? Prophylactics.
Whoa.
Is that just the name of... What does that
I
mean?
think that's just a name for
Another name
anti-baby devices.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I mean, obviously you've all read this,
Like
but...
tank traps.
But
mines.
The people listening might have read this, so we'll go for it. Hanoi, Vietnam. The police in Vietnam have seized more than 300,000 used condoms that had been boiled, dried, and put up for sale in a southern province.
That's horrible.
Officers who raided a warehouse in the province of Binh Duong on Saturday found the recycled condoms in bags weighing almost 800 pounds. The state-controlled two-tray news... I'm pretty butchering that.
Excuse me?
2-hour tray newspaper reported. Footage broadcast by the state-owned Vietnam television showed thousands of prophylactics spilling out of bags on the floor. Something about that makes me feel kind of sick.
Would you want to seize them? I'd say I'd just
burn the whole place to the
keep
ground. Yeah,
leave me.
We're taking this for evidence.
It was unclear what led to the police raid, but news reports said officers have received a tip from a local resident. Received a tip.
Penis tip.
Tip of the penis. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
The police arrested a woman in connection with the operation. Pham Thi Thang Ngoc. I'll fucking fuck that as well. Go on. How do you say that?
I can't see it.
Pham Thi.
Are we all on the same? Have we got the same?
I've got it from NY Times.
Mine's a different provider, but it's
see if we've got the
same
anyway,
article. Yeah.
The police arrested a woman who told the authorities that she had received a monthly delivery from an unknown person and had been paid the equivalent of 17 cents for about every £2 she recycled.
Do you reckon it was the same guy using all the condoms?
I was thinking it's weird. This is from one person. Do you think maybe it was from like prostitutes or something? It's a good source.
So,
if I wanted a load of condoms, that's probably where I'd get them from.
Yeah.
It's fair enough on that name, by the way. I don't know how you pronounce.
I think I was close.
I remember when I was reading the
I
article.
apologise to Phang Thi Thang Ngoc.
Yeah, we know you're listening.
Butchering your name.
Yeah. The type of listeners that we have are probably the type of people that recycle condoms.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
it wouldn't be a far stretch.
Yeah, go on. She told the police that the condoms had been recycled for a process of boiling, drying, and reshaping them using a wooden prosthesis.
A wooden.
Wooden. It was not known how long the business had been in operation or how many condoms had been sold. Condoms are designed to be disposed of after use. Reusing them to lead to breakage, slipping, or leakage.
Was that prosthesis a euphemism for dildo? Surely it's just like
I think
it means like
dildo.
like a wooden thing.
Just the New York Times are too
a penis shaped, a phallus thing.
Yeah. Well, mine's on the mirror, so I might be able to find a more crude version of it.
An obstetrician from Dak Lak said that recycling used condoms was very dangerous to society. Right, we know that. For profit, they can spread sexually transmitted disease such as syphilis, gonorrhea, and possibly HIV. She said the warehouse business. This must be prevented. But recycling the condoms is not unheard of among sex workers, especially in developing countries, experts say. Savs.
That's awful.
It's not impossible to wash a condom, a sexual expert said, but it's never happened to my knowledge on an industrial scale.
Aren't there? You can get
bit grim, innit?
like natural condoms that are like sheep intestines or something.
Yeah,
and they're supposed to be reusable.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think maybe I'm getting confused.
So.
But that's just grim, isn't it? Using a bit of sheep intestine.
I wouldn't fancy,
I guess that's how people back in the day.
I haven't used one, but I was contemplating it once.
Really?
Just
was your only option, or you just thought it'd be a laugh?
yeah, I was looking for like alternatives, and it was
between that and a Milky Bar, right?
Yeah, the Milky Bar worked. It's fine. Yeah, and no, it was just an idea that was proposed to me, and I was kind of just like, whatever, I don't care. Like if it feels good, like then that's fine. Like it's never gonna feel good, but it'll feel if it feels better than the alternative, like the usual ones. But I think there's we read some reviews and people saying they just don't feel good, and like they're not as elasticated. I don't know.
But is that like borderline
animal abuse?
No, what's the word when you have sex with an animal?
Bestiality.
Bestiality. Yeah. Is that not borderline?
It's something odd about that, isn't it? I would not. There's something very fucked up about that.
Weird, isn't it?
Using animal insides to
jizz in.
I mean, it's not like they've just ripped out the intestine and sewed it up and like on there, off you go. Like it's still gone through a factory, I assume.
Maybe thing. What was her name? She's been washing them.
Gnock.
Maybe they are.
It makes me feel kind of queasy. It's the sort of thing like as soon as I started reading it, I was like, I don't like this.
I was.
How do you reckon she washed them out?
It says for a process of boiling, drying, and reshaping them using a wooden prosthesis.
Yeah. So she just had a big tub of boiling jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big vat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's horrible, isn't it?
How do you reckon that smelled?
It smelled like that. Worse than that ball semen factory. That must have smelled. Actually, that must have smelled awful. Jesus.
And like latex, warm latex.
I mean, that's not really the main.
Yeah, but you've got that
smell
combined
problem that I've been
with
like,
jizz. That
like fucking. Oh,
Yeah,
like and
that
like
probably make you feel like higher,
old
like-
stale jizz as well.
Yeah.
Like not just any old jizz. Oh,
That's like M&S. This isn't just any jizz. This is Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Old, stale
boiled
jizz.
jizz. Yeah.
We take our jizz and boil it
fucking
3
hell.
times.
I wonder what.
that's
So
awful.
it said she got paid the equivalent of 17 cents per like pound of condoms.
Yeah.
I don't know how much a condom weighs. but,
It
like,
can't
how
be a lot.
many-
Yeah, that's a pound. Is it the weight including the jizz or the weight after she's recycled them and given them out?
Oh, yeah, probably the.
I think it was the given. She gets paid once she gives them back. Does she mean,
Yeah,
or,
like, yeah.
or,
I imagine
or was
so.
the warehouse paying her for providing them?
No, like it would be.
Surely
It would be
Oh,
how
yeah.
many
after
she
processed.
like
Every she
distributes.
recycled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Processed. Yeah.
yeah. So that'd be a lot of them. I mean, 300,000 was how many they seized.
Yeah.
So that is a lot.
Yeah.
That is grim. As a little appendage to that story, I've got the same one, but like Tom, I had it on the Mirror, and at the end of the Mirror version, it talks about the same stuff that you spoke about, but it also mentions the fact that less people are having sex due to the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And the last bit of the article I really like, a little bit of advice. So anyone who's struggling, any couples that are struggling at the moment to want to have sex for fear of contracting coronavirus, the British Columbia Centre for Disease Control in Canada suggested lovers use glory holes as a way of intercourse
No, they did not say
with
that.
minimal physical contact.
Fuck off, they said
And
that.
then, luckily, the Mirror does explain what a glory hole is. It says a glory hole is a hole cut into a wall that's only large enough for a penis to slip through, which means lovers can be in 2 separate rooms while having sex.
It did not say that. Did it really say that?
British Columbia.
Fucking hell. That's great advice, that
It's
is.
good, isn't it?
Go to the glory hole.
But that's just...
I
so
didn't scroll that far.
they're saying that in your own home, you punch a
Make
hole
a glory.
through your living room wall so you can put your John Thomas through.
And when your relatives come round,
Yeah, you just have to cover it with like a...
you've got that
little
robot
dish
from
cloth.
you've got that robot from the other month with his knob through the wall.
It's timeless
His
penis.
timeless penis, yeah. And he's like, "Hello, mum," you know, like, it's in the other room
It does remember
because it remembers your family. Yeah, it even recognises just their voices
and
so,
bodily parts.
Yeah, and
No, that's a good one.
It is grim.
Imagine. Do you reckon that was like her full-time job or like a little side gig?
So, well, like Uber.
Yeah, just like, oh, what do you do? You know, do you do this full-time?
She was like a big
Yeah.
shot lawyer, and then on her downtime.
Yeah. So I wonder how much trouble. I mean, it doesn't say. I don't think how much trouble she got in.
no, it doesn't really, does it?
Or I wonder if like it was purely just she didn't really. She might obviously she knew what she was doing, but like,
Yeah,
she
it was
wasn't
kind of
the-
like she weren't the main one, was it? It was
Yeah.
like they just arrested her. She just happened to fucking be there. Yeah.
It's got to be like a crime ring, surely. Probably distributing it back to prostitutes or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how expensive must condoms be? in Vietnam to like. I mean, they're pretty cheap.
But maybe it's like the if there's a criminal ring that have got control over the prostitutes, they're to save money. They're just reusing the condoms to just send them back out with. You know, maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, that's grim.
That is grim.
Yeah.
Nice. You got any more?
Light-hearted
start.
Yeah. Well, mine is the next one is I'm sure there's some cum in it somewhere.
Yes.
But not necessarily. I mean, they're sort of clickbaiting you a bit to make it look like cum in the picture quickly. Like, just look.
Oh yeah.
You can see that on.
That reminds me of. Have you ever seen the My Little Pony cum video?
What?
He's a great.
I probably have actually.
I can't get it up because I haven't got access to my phone.
Yeah.
It was in one of the articles we spoke about, wasn't it?
A long time ago, I think, and he put it by a radiator and it like boiled.
Wasn't it like a jar? He had a
jar
in a jar.
Yeah,
and he was trying to
He was trying to cover the little pony in cum.
Yeah.
And he was like documenting it, and then one day accidentally left it by a radiator, and it like boiled. I don't know how fucking hot is his radiator, and it just was disgusting. Like I can only imagine the smell. Well, it must have smelled like that.
I think the picture is actually like if you go back on the Instagram enough.
Is it on there?
I think it's on there. Yeah.
Lovely, great Instagram content.
It is purely just I'll get it up on the screen now for anyone watching
I
on
forgot
YouTube.
We've spoken about that.
It is basically just a jar with a My Little Pony like toy in it. It's all sort of half melted with
fucking people on the internet. In there.
Come
Jesus. Wow.
See if we can get him on next episode.
There's some. I've got an idea. One day I'm gonna bring like all of the.
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah,
want to bring,
I don't want your My Little Pony wank jar, Tom.
Like all the legendary like cum stories from like old school Reddit. There's like people that like that where people like collect their cum, but on like different objects, and they post photos of it, and like it's a whole little community.
I get it. I don't get.
Yeah,
I want my cum to be gone.
I'll have to read some
instantly.
out. Yeah, I think that'd be a good bit. Yeah.
That'd be a great bit. But on that note, there's definitely coming within the headline. Beer made with whale testicle and sheep dung among exhibits at disgusting booze museum. So I'm sure there's whale cum inside a whale testicle. Yep. I read that bit funny, didn't I? Beer made with whale testicle and sheep dung among exhibits at disgusting booze museum. The Swedish museum.
That wasn't weird.
The Swedish museum says people can be very desperate to get drunk, and in such a situation become quite inventive. So it's basically a museum. It's actually the Disgusting Food Museum in Sweden, but they've got like a display about alcohol now as well. A museum dedicated to stomach churning food has added equally off-putting alcoholic drinks to its displays, including wine fermented in a prison toilet.
Oh,
that's pretty classic, isn't it? There's spit fermented cornmeal beer from Peru, a Ugandan gin made from fermented bananas, and an ancient Korean beverage fermented from children's feces and rice, which is thought to be medicinal in the past.
What's that bananas doing in there in the middle? That's all right. Gin made with bananas.
That is all right.
What's happened to the bananas to put it in that hall of fame?
Imagine being at like the museum and you're like, like beer made out of children's feces. Oh, that's grim. For a banana.
I was actually thinking that sounds pretty good. Banana gin.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think it was meant to showcase like the lengths humans will go to get piss, and through the ages as well. Like it's happened for like millennia. It says at one point.
As soon as people found out they could like consume something and it fucks them up, like they just want to do it.
What was their mind?
So what was the child feces one?
Child's feces and rice.
And it was like a beer
fermented. This is an ancient Korean beverage fermented from children's feces and rice. It's thought to be medicinal in the past, but I guess because it's fermented, it ends up being alcoholic.
Yeah.
There's also a strong Scottish brew served from the mouth of a taxidermed squirrel, and an Icelandic beer made with a whale testicle smoked in sheep dung.
I bet some of it's actually alright.
That matey from the other week would have liked that one. Was he smoke? He used to smoke dung in his pipe.
Showered,
Oh yeah, the Iranian guy.
He loved that one. Museum director said people can be very desperate to get drunk. Sorry, Andreas Ahrens said people can be very desperate to get drunk. He added, so whenever we find ourselves in a situation where there is no alcohol, we get quite inventive, and we've been doing this for millennia. Whilst many of the drinks on display are commonly consumed somewhere in the world, they may be considered challenging by outsiders. See, I don't know whether. Yeah, there's one. Yes, it's got their food. I then went on the actual website to look at like the food items and stuff like that. And I watched a video about it. So with the food items, I don't know whether it's still the case. Maybe not right at the moment. It might be closed or whatever. But you could go in, you could try the whole point was you went and you tried them all. So they were all food that to a lot of people may seem disgusting, but somewhere people just eat them. You know, like somewhere it's just normal, it's regular shit. A 3-month temporary exhibit, temporary exhibit with disgusting alcohols launched on Saturday, blah, blah, blah. The exhibition accused Soviet-era surrogate alcohol, the 55% beer end of history sold in a taxidermed squirrel. That's a strange...
What's surrogate alcohol?
I don't know, what does that mean? South Korean poo wine and Icelandic sheep dung smoked whale testicle beer. What a fucking title that is. Icelandic sheep dung smoked whale testicle beer.
Do you know what? I'd be up for trying that one.
I was about to ask, like, out of all those things, what would you try and what wouldn't you?
Probably, bottom of the list would be the Korean poo and rice.
Yeah, fuck that.
Even that, I imagine that it just looks bad as well.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's child's poo even more off-putting.
Yeah.
There's something about it that makes, like, the fact that it's child's poo makes it...
Yeah, it does make it
even
worse.
a bit, like...
It makes it a bit more like fucking Epstein.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I was thinking more they're just going to be like full of sugar and like horrible food and that.
No, I think people
it's
that
going to be
come...
even worse. At least they're not going to be...
It's like healthy poo.
I
not going to be eating like broccoli.
Like a vegan's poo, just all grass.
Well, vegan's poo.
Like a horse's poo, basically.
Yeah.
I think also people that come from communities that eat poo and rice don't also eat like Hubba Bubba and shit. Like, I think they're like
Maybe
two mutually exclusive groups of people.
Yeah,
I don't think that. Yeah,
But you think that'd be worse? Well, like you think a sugary poo is worse?
I reckon so. Like people
just bad diet.
Bad diet poos. I'd rather eat, if I had to eat a poo, I'd rather eat. I'd rather eat
your shit than my shit because I am not. I don't have healthy shit.
Feel salty and like
I'd want to have the bananas would be top of my list. They've disappeared. Where have these bananas gone?
Yeah, well, he doesn't mention it in this because obviously it's not like.
I think there's something going
I'm
on.
surprised
with
they mentioned it in the headline. But
there's something secret about those bananas.
I don't reckon
they've been passed through someone's system already and then picked out
like that coffee. With
the leopard or whatever it is.
But yeah, loads of the food looked kind of interesting. Looked like actually would be like well, I say fun. Fun, kind of type 2 fun, like interesting to go and do where you go, and there's loads of this video of people like trying this, there's like this cheese that's got like fucking maggots in it and you eat the stuff that comes out of the maggots as well. And the maggots.
Absolutely not interested.
And the cheese.
Yeah,
that was one of the worst things, but there's but there's also like you know, like just a French smelly cheese that you know a lot of people go, oh, that's fucked, but like for us it's kind of fairly normal, you know. And then like you know like I think there was like that sort of those like weird egg things as well, like,
where it's got a fetus
century egg or something. No, those ones that are like 100 years. I don't know whether you eat those. Maybe they must be expensive, but something that looked like that anyway. And like durian fruit. Has anyone ever had that? So durian fruit is supposed to like smell awful. Like the guy in the video, it's like the owner of the curator guy. He says something like it smells like, what did he call it? What did he describe it as? Like rotting something inside's carcass or something, like some really horrible way he described it, and he was like, but it tastes amazing.
It surely can't.
Things
pretty much on the most part taste like how they smell.
I think like it's like a weird, well maybe you're saying like some people love it, like it's supposed to be really good for you as well, and some other like fermented soy and stuff again, but it's like
I had in Japan it was like fermented soybeans in the morning. It used to come in like
that's exactly what he said. He said he had it for breakfast.
I can't remember what it's called now. I mean, it was pretty acquired, the taste.
Yeah.
It was weird. It just looked like mould. Like he was eating mould.
Yeah, I think it is mould. I think it is literally mouldy.
Yeah. But I think it's
supposed to be really good for you.
Yeah. It's got loads of like...
It's not kimchi,
stuff
is it?
in it.
Is that not kimchi?
No, that's pickled ginger.
Oh yeah, pickles. Oh yeah. No, we once... So when I was at uni, we lived with these Chinese girls in our third year. There was basically... I moved back onto campus in the third year. My two other mates didn't even move off campus because they're lazy pricks. But unsurprisingly, we left it too late to organise who we were going to live with. Shocking, I know. Like I'd be unorganised. So the three of us went, and we just basically went, us three want to live together, whatever, two other randoms, not bothered. And these poor fucking girls, they put us with these two Chinese like foreign exchange students. Yeah. They were so confused by us. We were nice to them and shit, you know, obviously, and polite and things. They spoke kind of broken English, so they were especially confused by me. When I was just going like full Essex, like, oh, you fucking... But they were just, you know, they were kind of, they were best friends as well. So, well, they were at least very close and stuff. But once, so we invited them for a Christmas dinner. We said, oh, we're going to cook Christmas dinner. Like, it was around Christmas time. We were going to have it. If you guys want to join, they were like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. And they were like, we'll do dessert. I was like, wicked, that sounds great. And it was, honestly, I swear to God, it was like that Friends episode. You know when
Rachel,
she makes that beef trifle thing? Yeah. It was the most heinous thing I've ever eaten. I really wanted so badly to like it, you know, and we all did as well. And it was just like,
So what was it?
It was like this floury. It was bizarre. Obviously, it's just not to our taste. Like, they must have liked it. I'm sure they wouldn't have just like playing a trick. Like, maybe they were. Yeah, these fucking pricks. I'll get them back for breaking my fucking knife. That's what, maybe that did or did not happen. Also, it wasn't me. And it was like sort of purple flowers. I don't know what flowers they were, like purple flowers, and they sort of spent all day like kind of like boiling it up, and it was just that in like a sort of like a soup type thing, dessert. Mate, it was bizarre.
Did you have a backup? Did you pull out like a little bit of
didn't know, because we just like, so we just, I think when we put them in got something afterwards, but like we were like all trying to eat it, and you know, I think Josh genuinely was like, I'm gonna go phone my girlfriend and tell her about it. Like, I actually like probably pulled one out of the friend's like excuse book, and then like we actually had a Joe, you know, my friend Joe liked it and was like, I'm into it, like, and he actually like ate my bowl and stuff like that. I just sort of was just like, I'm really full, you know, like, thanks. And I think they kind of probably just got it a bit, and that it was probably a bit
not for you,
not for them, not for us, rather.
Yeah. I wish you could find out what.
I've never mate. I'll never know. Maybe
get back in contact with them.
Yeah, get in contact with them. Yeah. Oh, what are their names?
Listen to the podcast we just said where we hated your dessert.
Yeah, and just freaked them out. There was one night especially. Right, we used to play in this. We used to play this game where we'd bounce a ball on the floor. It would hit the floor, hit the wall, and then go in the bin, right? And we used to call it duck ball because we used to put a little rubber duck in. We filled it with water to stop it bouncing. So once it went in, it didn't bounce out again. A little bit of water bomb. And for some reason, we put a rubber duck in.
Did you grow up in the 1930s?
This was like, it's pretty uni, innit? Like fucking game with the ball and that. And we just get pissed. And we play this all night. And we'd eventually you'd move the bin further away from the wall, so it was harder to do. And one night we were just. Probably
your neighbours must have loved it.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
Downstairs.
I know, exactly.
Door.
And the fucking poor Chinese girls, because we were getting further and further back, which to the point we were like stood right next to their door, right?
Was it just in the hallway?
Just in the hallway. So like communal hall, our 5 rooms hallway.
Okay, yeah.
And probably like 5 a.m. and like did this one shot that was like, you know, epic, you know, got it in, and I went like, like really fucking loud, like shouting, and we were all like, oh shit, like how loud that must have been. And like we sort of got a bit quiet for a minute, and then she came out and like looked at us all like, and then went into like her other mate's room. I felt so bad. We all like apologised the next day, and they sort of were like, it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
But, mate, fucking we were, I was just confused the whole time probably. Anyway, why the fuck was I talking about that? Oh yeah, because
the food.
We're talking about disgusting foods. No, well, the whole point of the exhibit is that to some people these foods are everywhere.
Yeah.
People eat these foods and they're great. I don't know if the alcohol thing, it's a slightly different take on it, innit, by the sounds of it, but it's more like.
Have you seen the in Sweden? They have, and I think they also.
This is Sweden, by the way.
I think they have it in Norway and stuff like just the Nordic countries.
It's the Stromming.
That's it. I couldn't think of the name, Stromming, and it's just like fermented fish, basically. And there's like videos of people opening it. It's meant to be like the smelliest thing ever. Like if you're preparing it for a dish, you're meant to open the can underwater, and then like so you just fill up your sink or put it in a bowl, open it underwater, then you take the fish out after like a minute or so, and then put it in the dish that you're cooking it with. But there's like these challenges that people do. There's this classic video where these guys are all sitting in a caravan. And they're just sitting behind like the little cheap table or the sofa or whatever, and they open it up and just all like take a big breath of it, and within like a second they're like throwing their bodies all over the place, like being like sick on each other. It's meant to be like the worst thing you can smell.
Yeah, and a lot of them, but they're under pressure because it's fermented. Like there's gas.
Yeah,
building up inside. So on some of them, they pop it and it all just sprays out all over them. They're like,
yeah, it's meant to be like one of the worst smelling foods. Yeah, and like you open it up and people just be sick. Like sometimes you can't help be sick.
And it looks horrendous as well. It just looks like slime.
Yeah, and but you're meant to open it. Apparently, once you put it in a dish or something, it's actually really nice. But
it's kind of like fish sauce. You would just smell raw like fish sauce when you put it in a curry or something. That smells evil.
It's one of those things. It's just not worth it.
No,
Like, I'm sure Stromin may taste nice when prepared like perfectly, but it is surely not worth like all the aggro of fermenting the fish and canning it up and
what's that other thing?
Open it underwater and all that stuff. Like just don't bother, man.
Also, there's that sushi. Is it like from a blowfish or something where if it isn't prepared quite right, you die.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Simpsons.
Yeah, it's legit. It's actually real. And like the people that train to prepare it train for years and years and years to be able to prepare that thing. Yeah. And then people go in and they eat it. And it's like, you still might die if you eat it. It's like, there's a possibility.
You have to cut it really thin so it doesn't get the poison glands or something, because there's only certain parts of the fish you can eat. Me and my dad had, in a restaurant in Tokyo, there was pufferfish on the menu, and I just assumed, it must be the pufferfish, like the...
Oh, it's pufferfish. What did I say? Blowfish. That's not the same thing.
It's the same thing,
okay,
I think. It must be the one. Brilliant, we can try this dangerous pufferfish and like live to tell the tale. Obviously, it wasn't, because it was like deep fried, just like normal bits of fish. So it must be like a completely different thing. So we was like psyching ourselves up to try this deadly pufferfish, and it was just like a fish goujon. Nice though.
That is definitely one thing that's just not worth. Like, I kind of want to taste it just to see how good it is. Like people go so far to eat these foods.
Yeah, I suppose that one
must be good.
Really good, is it, or is it just more the ballsiness of?
What's the stromming or the
pufferfish thing? Is it like really good? So like it's worth nearly dying?
I think people just say it's good.
Is it just like it's not really a good? Bit of fish in it? Like
I think it's really salty.
I was going to say something a second ago now, and I've lost it. We've talked about a lot of things, haven't we? I was going to say, what are we talking about? Fuck knows.
Is it back on your alcohol or something?
Yeah.
Nah, never mind.
So stromming, sushi.
Yeah, let's just list things we've already spoken about.
Let's rewind the podcast, listen back from it. We'll be back in a sec. Nah, all right, fuck it. It can't have been that interesting. I bet when I listen to this back, I'll remember what I was going to say, and it really pissed me off. Yeah. I'll write it down, and I'll speak about it next month.
Yeah.
Next time, actually. It won't even be, it'll be less than a month.
Next episode.
Do you know what's funny, actually? We keep saying last month. I'm going to break the third wall by saying we're not actually recording this in October.
We're not, no.
Yeah, so we keep saying last month. Actually, was this?
We're recording way ahead of schedule.
New schedule manager here. Anyway, but it will be next month, technically, when we record Spooky Special. We've got to be a bit near. It's got to be a bit colder. It's got to be a bit spookier feeling in it. We've got to be closer to it.
I would
Halloween
say as well,
costumes in stock.
The Spooky Special is going to be worth watching on the YouTube, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched the YouTube and you don't want to watch it, make it your one and only watch. Spooky Special.
So, get familiar with YouTube if you're not already ready for next episode.
It's the next big thing.
www.youtube.com / Do we have like you can change it, innit? By default your YouTube channel's like 4789, but you can change it to be Curios Cast / Curios Cast, doesn't it?
No, I think by default it is your channel, like whatever your channel name is.
Is it now? Because like, mine's some weird shit.
Okay, well I don't know.
Looking at that, we're looking at that. But that's not even relevant, is it? Anyway, next. Woman who sawed off own hand found guilty of fraud. We got that one? Anyone?
I've not.
No, I haven't got that one.
It's also like not that funny.
I laugh.
But, I mean, that's funny.
We can laugh at it, I guess, because it was their own fucking fault for trying to make a scam.
Yeah.
A Slovenian woman has been found guilty of deliberately sawing off her own hand as part of an insurance scam. Like, I'm sure there's way better insurance scams than this. Like, people do like. People steal credit cards. People like jump in front of, even jump in front of a car is pretty stupid. But like, of all the scams you can do, is this really the one she thought?
Yeah,
great idea, that one.
Use your hand quite a lot. There's not a lot of money. You'd have to get a lot of money.
Well, it could have been a lot. A court in the capital. I can't pronounce that for shit. I'm gonna try. Ljubljana.
That's the capital of Slovenia.
Was it Ljubljana?
Ljubljana.
Okay. Sorry to all our Slovenian listeners. Found that Julia Adzlesic, 22, had taken out 5 insurance policies in the year before her injury. She had claimed it happened as she cut branches. Adzlesic stood to gain more than £1,900,000 in payouts. It's not a lot for losing your hand, is it?
No.
She cut it off with just a normal saw?
Yeah, like they reckon she used a circular saw, like one like that.
Wow.
Savage, isn't it? Yeah. A court. No, she faces 2 years in prison while her boyfriend has been given a 3-year sentence. Aslesic and a number of relatives were arrested in 2019 after she arrived in hospital with a hand cut off above the wrist. The court found that she and her boyfriend intentionally left a severed hand behind rather than bringing it in with them to ensure the disability was permanent.
Oh.
However, authorities recovered it in time to sew it back on.
Oh, so she didn't lose
That's
it.
madness, isn't it?
Oh,
How
so
the fuck did they...
That's insane, yeah. That
That's
you can,
insane.
she
you
must
can do
have
that.
like some loss of use.
Must do.
yeah.
Prosecutors said the woman's boyfriend had also made internet searches about artificial hands in the days before. Prosecutors said this was proof that the injury was intentional. Adslesic's boyfriend's father was also given a 1-year suspended sentence. Throughout the trial, she had intentionally denied cutting off her hand. Had the fraudulent claims been successful, the couple would have received more than €500,000 as a lump sum, with the rest paid in monthly instalments. It don't seem worth it.
No.
And how did she, like, did you think they drew fucking straws for this? How did she end up chopping her hand off and he didn't?
That's horrible, isn't it? Imagine chopping your own hand
That is
off.
horrible.
I would want enough money that I would be able to get one of those really cool, like, state-of-the-art
Well, maybe that's what he was
prosthetics.
looking like. How much? How much is a
Yeah.
prosthetic?
But then also have a lot of money afterwards
Yeah.
that it makes having a prosthetic hand
Yeah.
kind of worth it.
Yeah, it's no point just having
Yeah.
just about breaking even on his prosthetic
Yeah,
hand.
I'd
so
wanna
you're back
have-
to normal.
I'd want to have enough money to get the best hand
Yeah,
and then also have like 20 million on top or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want that's so dumb.
yeah, that's crap, isn't it?
Come on.
Like, he should have spent that time on the internet rather than looking up, prosthetic hands. You should have looked up how to do some like better scamming.
Yeah.
Like, there's like
Yeah.
way better ways of scamming people or companies or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, just send out an email saying like,
I got some dollars for you if you
yeah,
want to.
you need to change your password, type it in here. Like that's, and then
Yeah, try at least
easy.
try something else first, mate.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Maybe they.
I don't know if it says, but was I right in hearing that he's got more prison time than her?
Yeah.
She's got 2 years and he's
So
got
maybe
3.
he forced her
So
to
maybe
do it.
there's a little bit, persuasion
Whoa.
there. That's a bit darker, isn't it?
Yeah,
You'd kind of think that perhaps he did have some saying.
yeah.
It's pretty. He definitely at least must have done it to her. There's no way she
Yeah.
could sat there and do it to herself.
No.
That'd be hard.
Yeah.
Physically challenging.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I cut my finger with a bandsaw in woodwork at school once.
On purpose.
Cut it off.
Not on purpose.
Cut it off.
No, like just into the tip.
Ooh,
So I reckon if you just did that, you'd chop your own hand off.
just went bang.
I reckon so.
Nah.
It wouldn't go all
It
the way
would catch
through.
and you'd
Yeah,
catch on a
it
big old gash
catch,
at your arm
yeah.
before it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You'd have to hold it down.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, it'd be awful. God, just imagine.
That's horrible.
And what? She got like dosed up on something, or
But then if she got dosed up, they'd know at the hospital, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she must have. Because I was thinking that maybe she just got
Yeah.
like completely pissed out of her head, and then they cut it off when she was unconscious. But then they would know.
Then they, yeah, fucking
she must have had to
Christ.
have
No
been,
way. Mate, they are fucking hard in Slovenia, aren't they? Christ.
Yeah.
She must, yeah, oh.
That's,
Wow.
that's such a lose-lose now.
Yeah.
Like, so she's
Yeah, no,
She-
instead she
she
just got to
didn't
prison.
want a hand. Now she's got a hand that probably doesn't work. So,
Yeah.
so it's going to be like a useless hand, and she's going to be in prison.
That's just a reminder
Uh,
of all for the rest of her life that she
Yeah.
failed.
And then she
Yeah,
comes
it
out.
is, the
Yeah.
whole- yeah.
And then she's
You are
facing.
shit at insurance fraud and you
Yeah.
got no hand.
She's facing 2 years, and she's going to come out probably not with a job,
Yeah.
and
Now it's hard to get a job because she's disabled.
be a criminal.
Can she even get disability benefits because she did it to herself?
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Probably not.
She's still got the hand.
Oh yeah, she still got the
Yeah,
hand. Oh,
yeah.
just
Doesn't work.
doesn't quite
Yeah.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if
Wow.
she'd done her
I've got a
dominant
brain,
hands,
but it
like-
doesn't really work properly. But you know.
that's savage.
Yeah, I wonder if she'd done her dominant hand or you know.
Nah, you did the other one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Surely. But anyway, just quickly, loads. I'll just do a quick brief one. It reminded me. I think we might have spoke about this in the podcast before. I'm not sure. But it made me think of this. Man throws off. This is the title I got by googling it, but it made me think about this thing in general. Man throws off hated right leg. A man who hated his right leg for 25 years told how he plunged it in a bucket of dry ice for 6 hours, so surgeons had no choice but to amputate it below the knee. So I quickly just looked this up, but I remember it from before.
I don't
Yeah.
think we've spoken about
No,
this.
okay, maybe
Yeah,
I've just read
I've heard
before.
about it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we've.
He has a rare neurological condition called body integrity identity disorder, which sufferers claim is a medical condition characterized by an overwhelming desire to lose a limb or become paraplegic. So, like, there was a documentary about this. I think it's about this guy, yeah. And they they for some reason just don't want one of their limbs. They just hate them. And he spent all these ways like going to a doctor saying, I need it amputated. I don't want it. You can't just not want you know
Yeah.
you can't just amputate a body part because you don't want it. And so he went to all these efforts. Eventually, he just bunked it in the dry ice and then like drove himself to hospital and was like, my leg's fucked. Got to chop it off now.
Yeah.
And they had to chop it off.
Yeah.
Mental.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So apparently, like the way to describe that disorder is it's almost like when you get a splinter in your hand or something like that, and there's just like you just really want to get it out. Like there's just a part of you that you know it's always there and it's not meant to be
like
there.
A foreign body to
and yeah, so you're just like, I need to get it out. Or when you got something in your teeth and you're just like, this feels wrong. It feels different. Like I want to get rid of it. And that's just what people feel like with their limbs. Apparently, though, I don't know if it's this guy or if it's just someone else who has the same case, but I thought it was someone who got rid of both legs. But
that's what I always thought. That's what I was looking for. But so maybe that's a
so maybe it's a different one, or maybe this one just gets people get confused with this one. But apparently afterwards, he wasn't
back.
He wasn't happy. Like
that's that's the one I was looking for. But
the way I remember it is he wanted to get rid of both his legs.
Yeah.
Sat in dry ice, apparently right outside the hospital, and called him up and was
exactly
like,
what I was thinking.
I'm outside the hospital in a bucket of dry ice. My legs need chopping off.
Yeah.
They chopped his legs off, and then afterwards, he's all healed and everything, and he's still kind of like, I'm still not happy. Like I still feel like there's something there I need to get rid of.
Regretted it.
Yeah, and he regretted it like instantly.
Dark.
Who would have thought?
Really?
Regretting, you get your legs chopped off and regretting it.
When we're saying it's about like, I don't know again, we spoke with this podcast or just at some point, the guy that wanted to be eaten and he like chopped his penis off. Well, the guy had him, he's like a German guy, wanted to eat someone, went on the internet and this guy was like, would you believe it? I want to be eaten.
Yeah.
So they met up and he chopped his knob off. And we were like, but if that's your sexual fantasy to have your knob cut off and eaten, so one time, that's it.
Yeah.
And then like after that, surely he was no longer aroused because he was like bleeding out.
Because I'm sure in that story he cooked his knob.
He cooks it, he fucks it up.
Didn't they eat it?
Yeah, they both ate it, but apparently like burnt it as well.
Yeah.
So he was really disappointed. He looked forward to eating the knob so much, and he burnt it. And mate, he must have been there all bleeding out, like, oh, you burnt it. Like, fuck.
That's fucking horrible.
Really weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Splinters are horrible, don't they?
Yeah.
I got a splinter in my finger last year at the allotment from a bamboo stick. So I was pulling it or digging or something.
Yeah.
It went in my finger here, and over time it was just a bit swollen. I just didn't think anything of it. And anyway, eventually it was like this big ganglion. They call them ganglions, and it's just like a little fluid sac. Oh. If it goes into your joint. And
sounds nice to say though, ganglion.
Yeah. Sounds like a race of like aliens or something.
Yeah, it does, yeah. They're the ones with a good beer.
Great beer.
I've been thinking about it.
But it'd gone into like my joint thing, and some of the joint liquid goes in there and it just goes up. And the traditional way of getting rid of them is to hit them with a Bible.
Well, there you go.
My mates tried it, it didn't work. Fucking hit me with this massive book. I've got this like big old Italian dictionary at home. It's like it's massive.
It wasn't a Bible, that's why,
Bible.
mate.
I know, but it's the biggest book I had. So I put my finger on the thing, wallied it, and it fucking went up. It didn't go away. But it just disappeared by itself.
Did it?
Like, randomly.
Did the splinter work? Because they're supposed to work their way out eventually, aren't they? Because your body knows it's wrong.
There's still something in there.
Is
I
it?
can feel it, but it's like completely gone down.
How long ago?
This was like over a year ago now.
Oh.
Levels.
Yeah, weird.
I had carrying on with splinter talk. I had one, and I don't know where I got it from, but it was obviously a splinter, and it was in there, and I was trying to squeeze it out. I was trying to be sensible with it, just squeezing it, not picking it out or anything like that, and it just wasn't coming out. And I thought they're meant to come out on their own. Like it's pretty near the surface. I'll leave it, and it went like 2-3 days, and it just wasn't coming near the surface. And then I just spent a good half an hour or so squeezing, and I still couldn't get it. So in the end, I just got really sharp, pointy pair of tweezers, like the real sharp ones, and then just like started. First of all, I just started trying to get the edge of it, and then in the end, I just dug a big hole in my skin.
I've done that before.
And just ripped out a chunk of my flesh along with it.
Classic.
But I felt much better afterwards.
Yeah, you do. You have to cut into a bit of it and like carve a little crevice for it, and then you can get at it.
It was awful.
I think the best thing ever when you finally get there and he goes like.
Yeah. No, that's another one of Rob's sound effects.
Good face up there as well. It was a really good face.
It was awful the rest of the day or next couple of days with hand sanitizer and stuff like that and alcohol wipes.
Shit, that's the worst lately, isn't it?
It was like I'm having to like every time I'm wiping something or cleaning my hands, I'm just avoiding that one finger.
Yeah. I did that when I went climbing recently, and then like cut the shit out of all my hands, and it was in the Peak District, like straight away going into a pub afterwards or whatever for the pint and dinner or whatever, and put the hand sanitizer straight on. It's like, Jesus fuck, like all in your cuts.
I had to pull off my fingernail twice.
What?
Shut it in a door.
The same one?
I've never had to do that.
No. So one was my thumb and one was my little finger on this finger. Little finger. But I shut it in a door and it cracked my nail like up here, like by the top.
Jesus.
And over time, it sort of obviously died off, but it just wasn't falling off. So I had to like dig it out with a penknife. It was fucking horrible.
Deep. I had it
Absolutely
trapped
horrible.
my finger in a bus door when I was getting on the bus at school.
Yeah.
And it all swelled up all purple and shit and throbbing, and I had to go to the hospital, and they like had like what looked like a fountain pen, but it was bright hot at the end, and they went like and like put a hole in it,
to let the
so
blood
let
out.
the blood out,
Yeah.
and then eventually it came off after like weeks and weeks, and I had a tiny little, like that bit there that you always see, the little white bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's another nail.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't have them.
Did you really?
Because when my fingernail came off, whatever was that guy right there was a new nail.
Because my nail split around that circle bit.
Yeah.
That's where it like cracked. And
That's
then,
like another little nail growing out.
Oh, I don't have them.
Yeah,
little white bits.
Mate,
Yeah.
you've only got one nail.
One
mate.
nail.
You better not lose them.
Yeah. Speaking about like disgusting stuff on your fingers.
Oh, have you got a segue into your story?
No. I'm just talking. I'm telling about like old stories that have happened to me. But like you're just saying about your nail.
Yeah, go on.
Like I still do, but I bite my nails, and I used to be really bad at it. I would just keep biting them even when they were way too short. And I've done the classic when like you bite down the side, and then like you
have to
rip a bit of skin off as well, and then it ended up getting infected. This is when I was maybe like 14, 15, and it got all infected and swelled up a bit, and I was just like, oh, it will go down, and it swelled up, and if I can find the picture, it'll be on the screen. But my left thumb was about 3 times the size of a normal thumb. Like it was huge, like absolutely massive.
No way.
And we was trying all the classics, like leave it in like hot salty water and stuff like that, or like wrap a bandage around it with loads of salt, and the salt like gets out the pus. Apparently, didn't work. In the end, like went to A&E because it was fucking killing me. It was really hurting, and they said to me, yeah, we just need to like cut it open and squeeze it out, basically. It was horrible. And before going in, they said to me, do you want like a local anaesthetic, like an injection, because it's going to hurt? Yeah. And my mum at the time was like, I guess she thought it wasn't going to be as big of a procedure as it was. And she was like, well, no, like the needle going in is probably going to hurt more than like them squeezing the pus out. Yeah. Like, don't bother. And I'm like, okay, like you're the adult, I'm a kid, I'll believe you. So I was like, no, I don't need the anaesthetic. And they just went, okay, cool. They didn't be like, are you sure about that? It's really going to hurt? They just said, all right. And then like, come over here. So I literally just went over to the side, and this lady, like, there used to be a video on my mum's old phone, and it got lost during like a.
Oh, your mum's there
phone
filming it.
So I told
don't need the anaesthetic.
I told my mum to film it because I was like, this is going to be cool. And but the lady, the nurse or doctor was like holding my hand, and then basically just got a scalpel and just sliced down the side of my thumb, like maybe like about a centimetre like across, and then just started like scalpeled it deep. But I didn't know she was going to do it like like she just went in there, and I was like no anaesthetic as well. And the only things that they gave me for like pain relief was they got my mum to hold this can of spray. It was like a deodorant can, but it was like it's like ice, like icy air kind of thing. So like this like mist is being sprayed at my thumb that's meant to make it so cold that it's almost numb and you don't feel anything. Doesn't work. It's like it just makes it worse because it's getting in the cut, and it was stinging like it's a chemically kind of thing in the cut. And she's like squeezing about, and then she got these like pair of tweezer things and is digging around in there, pulling all of the stuff out. And she like, I'm pretty sure she like tugged on like a nerve or like a strand of flesh or something. And I remember sitting there with mum being like, you can swear if you want. Like I'm going, fucking yeah, I do. And I'm like, I remember just like fucking sweating buckets. I just managed to hold it together, and like she's squeezed it out, and then my thumb was wrapped up for a few days, and now it's fine. Like, 10 years later. But
there you go.
It was awful.
I feel like I've lived through it now.
Yeah, so do I. That was graphic.
Yeah,
fuck.
There you go.
You're hard as nails.
Thanks, mate.
Not as quite as hard as that Slovenian girl.
No.
Was yours for insurance fraud as well?
And mine hurt a lot. Imagine chopping off your fucking hand.
Fuck me.
Do you reckon stuff like that is such a shock that you almost don't register the pain? Like you
depends how quick you did it, though, didn't it? I guess it'd be worse because
you'd be expecting it. If you weren't expecting it,
yeah. If you did accidentally chop your arm off with a the way they claimed it happened, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But if you were sat there watching, I'm about to chop my arm off. I'm about to chop my arm off.
Because your brain's like, no, don't do it. You probably feel the pain before it even happens.
Yeah, you would. Fuck.
Can't even think about it. Oh,
I'm done on my stories anyway.
Right,
by the way, I've fucking I spent an hour on that.
Wow.
Well, no, that was including the
Oh yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah.
the catch ups.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go
Go
next,
next.
I guess.
I'll go next.
You, I don't think I've ever gone last.
No.
No.
George always goes last. So.
Yeah.
We always go last. Well, I'm going to get rid of the condom one. We've already had that one.
Yeah, that's one of my stories gone as well. It's a good thing I found because I only had 2, and then last minute I pulled one out the bag, and it's a good thing that I did because I would have only had one.
Fuck about you, George. You only got about 18 left now. Yeah.
Well, no, I've lost one. I had one, which was a revisit, but it's the only one I didn't screenshot, unfortunately. So I've lost the web page. It was a revisit to the €300.
Is it
the
still
woman
there? You just got to press refresh.
No, it's completely gone from
Never mind.
my thing. It was about the woman that had married the ghost. We spoke about it already, but it was a revisit for her. So I'll bring that back. But
Well, that's perfect for the spooky special, surely. Why
it's
Oh,
good,
yeah.
it's good. It's not really spooky though. It's just like a
It's still about ghosts,
Yeah.
about spooky
yeah,
things.
But I can find some better spooky content.
Oh, still, I want that as a
Believe
catch up.
you me.
We're going to catch up on all previous ghost content for the start of that. If there's any ghost follow ups.
There's plenty. So my first one is doctors pull 4-foot snake from woman's throat after it slithered in as she slept.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
So I've got a video.
This is awful, this episode.
Yeah.
What
so
the fuck?
I've got
I'm
a
gonna have
video
nightmares.
of them removing the
No,
snake.
Christ.
from
I
the,
don't want to see that.
Hell yeah.
So it's going to go. It will be up on the.
Yeah, we'll get it up on the screen
on
on
the thing,
YouTube
so-
if you're watching, or check the Instagram as well.
So this is. It says this is the shocking moment a 4-foot-long snake is removed from a woman's mouth. The creature had reportedly slithered into her throat as she slept in her garden in Lavashi,
No.
a village in Dagestan, southern Russia. Feeling unwell, the young woman was rushed to hospital, where she was put to sleep. Obviously not killed, just put under
Put her down.
In this disturbing footage, a doctor is heard saying, "Let's see what this is," before inserting a tube down her throat.
It's ain't gonna play, surely.
I've
Cached
done a
it,
screen grab on the
okay.
video.
Oh,
So I'll read out the thing and I'll
Posh.
show you the video after. Well, what I'll do actually, I'll show you the video because it sort of describes the video.
okay.
So
Yeah.
let me show you the video now.
So, I mean, for those only listening in audio, I'm sure it's purely just going to be a person pulling a snake from a lady's throat. You can picture it. I'm already picturing it.
Well,
I haven't seen the
I
video
can.
yet.
I could put this on.
But-
I could put this on Instagram.
Yeah, so go
we
if you
can
want to
also
watch
put this
it,
on
then
Instagram.
go check it out on the Instagram, Curios
Yeah,
Cast.
it might be better on there because we'll discuss that later. But yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe you can put it in, yeah.
You can probably put a video within a video, right?
Yeah.
On the,
I don't know if you can you? Anyway.
So unfortunately, because I screen grabbed it from my phone, it's a bit small.
Whatever, go on.
yeah. We'll get the gist.
Yeah. It's a screen grab of a screen grab as well. Even
Yeah,
better.
it's great.
That is the worst content.
I cannot.
So there's a snake coming out. They're pulling
Oh
it.
yeah.
No. Is it still alive?
I'm not too sure. It looked like it moved a
It's
bit. didn't
moving,
it?
but it might just be.
And they throw it
momentum.
in the bucket.
No, fuck.
So they've got like a tube. Like I assume it's got a camera on the end and a little
That's the
grabber,
stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
and it's pulling the snake out of her throat. It looks like it's almost clinging on a bit
Yeah.
because there's like some force behind the doctor pulling it out.
Yeah.
It looks pretty long because there was some debate as to whether it was a tapeworm or something, but it looks longer than a tapeworm, right?
It doesn't.
Can't tapeworms be incredibly long? Like
But they're
feet?
normally they're in your like gut,
They're in your
aren't they?
intestines, I think.
So-
as well, yeah.
Yeah, but isn't your intestines like if you lay it flat like 18 feet long or something?
Yeah, but it
Something
wouldn't go
mad long.
up into your stomach though, would it? Or
I don't know about bodies and that.
because one of your sphincters would stop it. You got a sphincter. You got many
You got
sphincters.
sphincters,
Yeah.
You got-
Thanks, George.
yeah. Not just your anus.
No.
Anus.
So it says, as he slowly pulls the snake out, another medic grabs it, but then jumps back and screams as she realises how long the snake is.
Like she was like willing to grab a 2-foot snake, but when she realises that it's doubled out, she's like, fuck off! No.
The snake is then dropped into a medical basket. It's unclear if the snake was alive or dead, or how long it was trapped inside the woman. This is my favourite bit.
It's unclear if it was like just from the video. Great. I love this journal. This is the state of journalism these days in articles like this. They didn't bother to try and find out if the snake.
Further.
All they've gone is, here is a video that we found on the internet. We're going to talk about it now for an article.
This is what we're doing.
I know this is what we're doing. But we don't claim,
But we're not getting paid for this.
No, we don't claim we're journalists.
Yeah, we don't claim we're journalists.
Well, 2 of the 3 of us don't.
This is my favourite bit. It says, according to local reports, such incidents are unusual.
Oh, great.
But older residents do advise the young not to sleep outside in case a snake slithers into their mouths. So they've got like a local saying warning against snakes slithering in your mouth, and it's happened.
If that really is a local saying, everyone has to go fuck off. And
you always hear the thing of like, oh, throughout your lifetime you swallow like 10 spiders in your sleep or whatever. Do you reckon in Dagestan, Russia, it's like, oh, in your lifetime you do swallow a snake or 2 while you're sleeping.
Sometimes.
It just happens.
Like, shit, if you heard that afterwards, you'd be like, everything they've told me is real.
Yeah.
Like, my eyes are going to go square if I stare at the TV, like, and all this.
Yeah.
What's that snake doing as well? What's it looking for?
Somewhere to chill. Like,
Food, I guess.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
I mean, it's like he just found something that's like a similar shape that he can like hang out in. Like he sees a throat and it's like, oh, that fits.
Yeah, or I fit.
Yeah,
yeah. There's this picture hasn't loaded. It's just a screen grab of the video, but the caption is, "The huge snake just keeps on coming." nice and happy. So it says some commenters have claimed the creature could be a parasite or a giant worm, but it appears too long for this. The Ministry of Health.
They don't even know.
No, they don't even know.
The Ministry of Health in Dagestan. This is where the journalist has obviously started to struggle for filler. They're like, fucking hell, I haven't got any other information about this story.
200 words.
I'm really, what the fuck am I going to write?
Yeah, go on.
Right, I'll just pull some shit out. Ministry of Health in Dagestan, a mountainous republic bordering the Caspian Sea, have not commented. The woman patient was not identified, nor was the type of snake. The village of Lavashi has a population of 11,500 and is an altitude of 4,165 feet.
Oh, that explains it. Yeah, that's why the snake got in the
That was
throat.
where the journalist gave up on trying to find any facts and was like,
Yeah.
Google Lavashi.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the snake coming out sort of.
That's
I hated that.
I'd keep the snake. If
it was
it's
still alive.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Alive or dead, you'd have to keep it.
Maybe not dead. Oh, yeah, I'll probably frame it, I guess.
Can you like zoom in on that, Jules? Like pinch to zoom.
Yeah, I'll double tap.
There you
Yeah,
go.
sorry, I should have done that earlier. Let me.
Yeah, I'd definitely keep it. If it was alive, you'd keep it.
Oh,
as
we've
a pet,
got
obviously.
audio.
Oh, we got audio.
Shit.
Whoa.
Gather round, listeners. Hang on, wait.
But yeah, if it was dead, I'd probably keep it as like in a frame or something.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna hear this woman lose her shit
great
as well.
audio content. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is fucking long.
God, that is long.
Yeah. It is really thin. Like it
Yeah.
It might not be a snake.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
But then what else is just like...
I do know a snake expert, so I'll ask his opinion.
Yeah?
Okay.
I'll get back to you next week.
There we go.
Yeah.
Next month. Fuck. Next time.
Yeah.
Whenever it is.
Next thing.
Yeah, I'll consult my snake expert friend.
Yeah.
He'll love that.
We've got a resident expert.
We saw a snake. I saw it like Fort Park or something, and I said like, "Oh no, it's a lizard." So like really stupid, and I was like, I was filming it for James, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I need to cut that bit out because James is going to cane me."
I mean, to be fair, they look very similar, don't they? Except one's got legs.
No, a snake is not a lizard. It's a reptile.
No, I had that same sort of thought in my head for a split second. I was going, actually,
yeah,
no, not at all.
So that was it. That was my Dagestani snake on a little expedition down someone's throat.
That's hell.
That's good.
That is
Surely
hell.
you'd wake up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would have thought so. Because I mean, that was pretty long. You know, that going in is going to block your airway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it went down a throat hole, not a.
Yeah, but until it gets past the air, because I don't know how low down your air
you've still
hole
got
split
a
is.
joint, haven't you?
Yeah.
Don't know.
It always amazes me that your
I
food
hate
doesn't
it.
go
I
into
don't
your
like
lung.
snakes.
How does that work?
What was that?
Your food doesn't go into your lung.
Because you don't breathe it in. Because you got a trachea.
You know, but you've got
All right.
it's
He
connected.
didn't know about the body. Now he's man's busting out
Yeah.
trachea.
But you've got a hole connecting to your lungs, so the air can go down, right?
Yeah, but when you swallow, there's
Does
like
it close it off?
there's a little flap basically for your
Right.
breathing
Yeah.
hole,
Yeah.
and when you breathe, that flap goes up and down, and then when you swallow, it just stays like
Closes.
sealed. Yeah.
Do you reckon there's a disorder where some people don't have that?
I do it quite often. I'll breathe in my drink.
I think you sometimes feel like it's gone down the wrong hole, didn't you?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it really has or...
It has, but usually it's like the tiniest amount.
Yeah.
And it feels like you've just swallowed like a whole load of, like, or breathed in a bunch of water.
Well, that's what happens when you drown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Water goes through
Yeah, I
that.
guess
and you
so,
end up in
yeah.
lungs.
Because you just have to get
You're trying to breathe at the same time. Yeah.
But yeah, I do it all the time. I'm a fucking idiot. I can't drink properly. Like I've got a drinking problem. I just I'll take a sip and I guess I just try to breathe at the same time. And or like you swallow and then try and breathe too quickly maybe, and then try to multitask and you just can't do it. I choke on my first sip so often.
Right, second one. It's a nice short one. This is a good one. Man blows up house trying to swat fly.
Is it a fucking Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, or it reminds me a bit of like Father Ted when she says, like, Mrs. Doyle says something about I can't remember the context of it, but she's talking about this, like, other people and like their husbands and other women. She was like, someone wanted to get a job or something. She said, you can't do that. Do you remember when such and such went out and her husband tried to do the washing up and he burnt the house down?
So man blows up part of house, not an entire house, whilst trying to swat fly. The man in his 80s was eating his dinner on Friday evening when he became annoyed at a fly buzzing around him. I mean, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So a man in France has accidentally blown up part of his house whilst trying to chase a fly with an electric fly swat.
And stick of dynamite.
He picked up the electronic fly swat and took aim at it as he was... This is not very well written.
Well, describe electric fly swat. Are they like
It's like a tennis racket.
Like a tennis racket, but got little...
Gives it a little zap.
Okay.
So he picked up the electronic fly swat and took aim at it. He was unaware of a gas cylinder leaking at his home in the village of Parcel-Chenald in Dordogne.
Dordogne.
Apologies. Dordogne, is it?
Dordogne, I believe, yeah.
So how'd you do the Parcel-Chenald?
La Parcel-Chenald. Chenot. Probably, I think.
Chenot?
But I know it's Dordogne.
Dordogne. It's good, isn't it? It's good. Dordogne, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
A reaction occurred between the swat and the gas, causing an explosion, and part of his kitchen blew up. The blast also damaged a section of his roof, and the house is currently uninhabitable. Somehow, the man managed to escape the catastrophe with just a burn to his hand. His family are repairing the house while he resides at a local campsite.
And then the fly, like, still alive.
Yeah, and it says, and to end the article, it says it's unknown what happened to the fly.
It was all a setup.
Yeah, that's a good little short one.
Yeah, that fly was like a kamikaze bomber. He knew what was going to happen.
This cunt has like killed so many of my brethren with that electric fly swat. Yeah.
He was there twisting the little gas
thing. Yeah, one by one,
Yeah.
like 8 flies all twisted.
It's mad, isn't it, that you could set off an explosion with an electronic
Well, it's because
fly
it makes like a little spark.
Yeah.
So it's no different from just if you have a gas leak and then you just
I suppose so.
lit a lighter or something.
Would it make a spark if you didn't hit the fly?
Yeah, you can like make a spark
Just
with
by
your
going
fingers and stuff.
and just pressing the button, or is it?
No, I don't think so.
So in theory, he probably did hit the fly in order to create the spark.
Yeah.
So the fly's probably dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
guess
fly's
so.
probably dead, yeah.
But with his final act.
Yeah.
But you can like you can just touch him and make a spark and it hurts, but it's not like you don't get zapped or anything. It's just like you touch it and there's a little spark and you're like, fuck. But
he probably didn't touch it.
It probably might have saved him, you know, because like if he didn't try and get that fly, more gas could have built up, and then when he tried to get another fly later on, or
switch
just,
the light on and off, classic,
or just go to like do some cooking, you know, do his desserts,
could have blown up half the street,
Chinese flour dessert, and then could have killed him.
Absolutely.
There you go. Saved him, the fly, guardian angel.
Yeah, exactly. He'd gone to like warm up a little baguette or.
It's good, isn't it?
That's a good story. I wonder if that's covered on his house insurance. Like,
yeah, but act of God. Do you reckon that's an act of God?
Probably not. It's probably just gas leak.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what triggers the explosion.
I
It's
suppose
still,
it's still a gas leak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good little short one. Little quick burst fire round. I've got a Bigfoot one, but it's not really that interesting.
Oh, well, you got to lay it on us anyway.
Because they usually are.
Well, no, but normally there's like an element of either stupidity, you know, someone getting hurt, or just like the way it's written is quite funny or something like that.
Yeah.
This one's not really any of that. It's about a Bigfoot sighting in Cornwall, which I've never heard of any Bigfoot.
No, they're usually in America.
Yeah.
Usually in America. So this is about the Cornish version of Bigfoot. Big feet.
He's going transatlantic.
Yeah. So this is called. Well, the headline is "The Day Bigfoot Stalked Workers in a Cornwall Forest." The British Bigfoot Research Group, who I'm definitely going to reach out to, says that sightings of mysterious beasts and wild men are quite common in the southwest.
Wild men.
It was a copper-coloured. So this is it's written in quite a sort of descriptive way. So it's more like a little story than a thing.
Ooh.
It was a copper-coloured creature about 6.5 feet tall. A scared witness told his account of the day he came face to face with a Bigfoot in a forest in Cornwall. The existence of the large and humanoid, also known as Sasquatch, has often been dismissed, but decades of sightings from the southwest to the Highlands suggest that Bigfoot or wild men could be roaming the British countryside. I mean, I've never heard of a Bigfoot sighting
this
in the
is
UK.
a new angle.
Yeah.
The terrifying event took place about 20 years ago in the St. Mulgan.
We have some great pronunciation.
M-A-W-G-A-N.
We're struggling more with that than the French town or the Vietnamese.
Morgan.
Malgan.
M-A-W-J-N.
Say Malgan?
I still say that's Morgan.
Morgan. Which is near Newquay. I can pronounce Newquay.
Okay, yeah.
It's New Quay.
Nquay.
A local man explained how he'd spotted Bigfoot in a woodland area after the creature had been watching him for hours. How did he know it had been watching him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only just spotted him, but he was watching me for hours.
The story was shared.
That's weird to say.
The story was shared on British Bigfoot research member Deborah Hatswell's British Wild Man Sightings map, which I haven't opened because I've only just seen that within the story.
I really want to see
so
that.
we'll come back to that.
What was it
Absolutely.
called? What's the name of the map?
Have you got internet on your
Yeah. British Wild Man's, what's it called?
British Wild Man Sightings map? If you
I'm going to search
search for Bigfoot Cornwall, you'll find this article and it'll be in there.
Okay.
The spotter, who remained anonymous, wrote, "I realised I may have seen the creatures that you talk about years ago when I was working. I'm kinda in shock, to tell you the truth. So I was unsure whether to get in touch or not." It's written like a D&D character, like he's playing a...
I'm kind of in shock.
I used to live in Devon and Cornwall, little village called St. Mulgan. I was unsure what to write as I wanted to say I've seen one of those creatures you see for sure. And I think there was another one with it, but I only clearly saw one. Make of that what you will. While I was out making cages in wood for my boss's pheasant hunt just outside of St. Mulgan, I used to hear wood knocks all the time down there.
It's like a different world.
And I wasn't really sure what it was at first. My boss said, when I asked him about the noises and the thing I saw, and he said, that is ridiculous. My boss said, when I asked him about the noises and the thing I saw, and he said, "Oh yeah, we call them woodwoses." So the local word is woodwose. That's a ridiculous sentence.
Yeah, that was quite hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna translate it. His boss said when he told him about it, "Oh yeah, we call them woodwoses."
Yeah.
It was about 20 odd years ago that it happened. I was in my early 20s, maybe 22 or 23, I think. So the young man was working in a field outside the village when the incident happened. The only way I can describe it is that it was all wooded, all around with steep hills, but with a field in the bottom. Try and imagine that.
Yeah.
My old boss used to keep pheasants and other birds up there. People paid him to shoot on his land. He and I were on the side of the hill on the far edge. I remember climbing through vegetation and trees. Anyway, I was talking to him about the pheasants and the birds, and afterwards, me and another guy and his daughter, this is getting more complex by the second, were left there to finish off the work.
This is just rambling.
Yeah.
On a better note, I haven't listened to much of that, I'll be honest with you, because this is fucking amazing.
Is it good?
Much?
This British Wild Man's sightings map, I didn't know you could do this, right? It loads up fucking maps, right? Google Maps with a layover of all the fucking
amazing.
And
cool.
it's incredible. Like all the
like the cryptids.
Yeah, and you can see where they are.
Save that for the cryptid special.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna have to do that because this is fucking awesome.
So if you click one of them, does it come up with information?
It comes up with loads of info. And look, the Romford red-eyed creature.
Whoa.
Are there any?
I think I've seen
and there's
her.
all that. Look.
That's mad.
I know her.
This is
it's in the goose, wasn't it?
This is the nuts. Where are you, Tom Dagenham?
Yeah.
there's none around there.
What about-
There is the night
See,
visitor.
we fucking stabbed
A
them all.
7 foot ape-like man came in the room,
Ooh.
and that is in like Ilford.
Oh.
Anything like Langdon Hills?
No, there's shit all around that way. The closest is like North Ockenden, and there's Frank Wood Cranham Wild Man, 2002. A black shadowy figure standing 2.5 meters tall with no discernible features gave chase to a group of friends as they left the wood. Until next time, Deborah. I love this.
I think
good,
we've
yeah.
got a
We'll have
gold
to-
mine.
I'm
there.
going to go deep onto that.
Yeah,
like,
deep
later.
dive into
Yeah.
that. Yeah, find some of the best ones. Some of like the key locations.
So at least
Yeah.
something good's come out of this article because it is absolute trash.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is when he's actually all of this. You haven't even seen Bigfoot yet. He hasn't mentioned anything
Oh
about Bigfoot.
God.
So they've been
Just
started
skip to
hearing.
the fucking chase.
Started hearing noises. This was
Yeah.
when he saw Bigfoot. I had to wait to get picked up later. This was the reason I stayed. I couldn't make out where the sound was coming from. I could still see the edge of the forest where I'd been before when I had heard it earlier on.
Oh my God.
So
this
many
guy.
descriptors, madness. I waited on the edge of the forest and I could hear rustling in the bushes. I looked, but I couldn't see anything, and then I guess my eyes adjusted and began to focus because I saw a face. The face was looking back at me, and there were clicks and whistles everywhere. I don't know why I still wasn't sure what it was. I walked forward to try and have a better view. Then it stood up. I don't know why, but I just felt it was not fully grown. It was a male about 6'5".
What does that even mean? I just felt it wasn't fully grown. That is a. Fuck
It
this
was
guy.
kind of copper colour, and it looked right at me.
Oh, I hate this man.
I was gone in a shot as I heard my old boss's Land Rover returning to collect me.
I like the way we're like, we'll reach out to these people and ask them all like, fuck
Well,
yeah, this guy.
so this isn't that's just a lady. I think,
Oh, he's nothing to do with the society.
Yeah, nothing to do with the society. No.
It's the person writing the article is probably full of shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
they
one
could
you're
have
gonna I'll reach out to them.
they could have trimmed down his responses a bit. I think. So he told his
Yeah, so
boss.
I've literally done a word for word of like what
Yeah,
the
it's
guy
madness,
said.
isn't it? Yeah, just
Yeah.
like got on an email and went, yeah, slap that on there. That's absolutely fine. So his concerned colleague asked him what was going on. I was like, has anyone ever seen anything about a Bigfoot here? He eventually responded, oh yes, we call them woodwose here. He replied, just leave them be.
Oh my
Isn't it?
God.
I felt that it had been watching us all the time we were out there. I wish I could explain it all more fully to you as I am sitting here remembering things about that day. I've heard people say you get a smell with them. I didn't get any smell and I don't know why. According to the legends,
Oh my God.
Bigfoot supposedly inhabits the forest in North America, but the British Bigfoot Cryptid and Paranormal Research Group, that's a good name, that's a separate group, isn't it?
Yeah.
Say that sightings of mysterious beasts and wild men are quite common in the southwest. There are many stories and have been many sightings over many years of mysterious beasts, panther-like cats and monster black dogs, as well as wild men living in and around the southwest of England, they write on their Facebook page.
We should definitely do cryptids and that, because I was about to bring up another story about a dude I spoke to who's bang on it,
Yeah,
but I'll save that for that.
we definitely do a cryptid special.
I like the word as well, cryptids. I only learnt that when you said it the other day.
The woodwoses, or wild men of the woods, could be Bigfoot's
Fucking
British
woodwose, innit?
cousins. They have been spotted in the past in Dorset and Suffolk, even in Suffolk apparently. 2 years ago, a man reported that he had previously seen a Sasquatch-like creature walking in a field just 10 miles from Bristol. Just 10 miles. He said he was on a train from Exeter to Bristol, which was approaching the city on a bright Friday morning in November last year, when he saw a massive creature taking long strides along a hedgerow.
Was this one fully grown?
Doesn't say.
I had
on that
a
one.
feeling.
Doesn't say on that one.
What is it? Woodwose.
Woodwose,
yeah.
Woodwose.
Do a little Google, see if Woodwose comes up with anything, or whether this article is complete bullshit. Because I've never heard of Woodwose.
I think I don't want to Google.
Yeah, it's just
It is if it does or it doesn't.
what's like. It'd be interesting to see like how many of those sightings on that map have any like photos to go with them.
Yeah.
Like if someone's taken a photo.
None of the ones I clicked so far. have
No,
photos,
like
yeah.
it is funny how like Bigfoot sightings have sort of like dramatically decreased since like high definition video cameras have
Yeah.
become so easily.
Well, I got
accessible,
something to
right?
add to that for my. We'll speak again for my
okay.
cryptids thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That what you got?
that's the Bigfoot. Bit of a shit one, I know.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
It was more for the value of how badly the article
It
was
was
written.
written
really.
very
And you
bad.
wanted to drop a classic Bigfoot.
And I wanted to bring a Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
The only other one I've got is about a sheep in New Zealand that has been like living wild. He's got a massive massive coat.
Oh, I think I've seen him.
Don't know where you're going with that. Right up to the cut of, I was assuming.
So there was a famous
I have
one
heard about this
back
as
in
well,
like
actually,
2004. He's called Shrek,
Yeah.
and they found him like living out in New Zealand. He'd been out for 5 years, and he hadn't had any
Shearing.
haircuts. He hadn't been to the
Shearing.
barbers at all. And they've just found another one. They've called it Shrek 2.
Creative.
Really good, isn't it? So let me just get the... so it says, meet Shrek 2. New Zealand shearer discovers enormous sheep living on a forestry block near his station. This is a picture of Shrek 2.
What a lad. Look at
Fucking
him.
Unit.
Bit of a unit. However,
Yeah.
I don't think he's as good as Shrek. So Shrek is this guy. This was the original Shrek.
Of course, Shrek is better, yeah.
I mean,
He's
Shrek is well better. That's
insane,
crazy.
yeah.
These will be on YouTube, and we'll probably put them on Instagram as well for people
Yeah.
that don't want to look at the and the thing. This is another one.
What
that
the
they
fuck
found.
is that? Oh, that's neither. It's a Shrek
This
3,
is-
is it?
This was
Yeah.
confusingly, this one's called Shrek 2 as well, but it's a ram, so it's a male one.
Oh.
Oh.
Could have thought of a different name, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those should really be Shrek. The other ones should be whatever female Shrek's called.
But it's just mad. So Shrek
Woman
2,
Shrek.
Woman Shrek,
Fiona.
Fiona,
Fiona,
yeah, it could have been
yeah.
Fiona. So Shrek 2 had over 30 kilograms of wool on it.
Wow.
Mad, isn't it?
I don't know what an average
That's a lot.
coat weighs, but
I mean, it's
No,
a lot.
it's
And
a
imagine
lot.
walking around with a coat on that weighs 30
Yeah.
kilograms.
I
Yeah.
thought if you didn't shear them, like they
Yeah,
would,
fuck,
like they
they're-
overheat and die or something.
Yeah,
Like,
weird,
we've
isn't it?
bred them to the point where if they produce so much wool that if they don't get sheared, then they can die. Because it's
Yeah.
like they get so hot.
It's probably a load of shit
But-
in it that people
But
say.
yeah, clearly not true.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's like,
this was like living
I
up
don't
in
know,
the...
But I
anti-shearing
don't imagine
propaganda.
I don't imagine he was very
Comfortable.
comfortable. Yeah.
Nah.
Well, after they found him, the original Shrek, they carted him around the country in the back of a car, taking him to like fairs and festivals.
Of course
and
they
stuff.
did. There you go. Yeah.
There he is, being led off.
Of course
Yeah,
they did. Just because he was really uncomfortable and shit. But let's not sort him out. Let's cart him
Yeah.
around to fucking stick him in the back of a fucking car.
Yeah, but they hired a personal carer to look after him.
Oh wow.
We should do that with you. You haven't had your hair cut for like 15 years or so, have you?
Yeah. Fuck me. I'll be well. If I hadn't trimmed it, I'd have been better than Shrek.
So that's it. That's all. I just wanted to show you a picture of a sheep. I mean, look, you can't even see his legs.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty mad. He does look like a big cloud. I kind of
Yeah.
want to cuddle.
Yeah.
I want to cuddle him.
Like, imagine
Oh,
if he was
it's
up in the mountains
probably is
and you
filth,
saw that coming towards you. But what is that?
Yeah, he's probably made it in some of those cryptid
Yeah.
sightings,
Yeah.
isn't he?
You can't
The
even walk.
beast of fucking
Yeah.
mountain, the white beast. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
The cloud creature.
I thought it was a nice light-hearted one.
Yeah.
It was.
you know,
I
there's
think he
no
went
one's-
up in lightheartedness from the
Yeah,
demonous fucking snake
snake. The
throat.
snake was pretty grim.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I like that one. That was my favourite.
Well, yeah, all the other ones were pretty shit, weren't they?
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to talk about the time that Tony the Tiger was driven off of Twitter by unbelievably horny furries.
Brilliant.
I guess for anyone who doesn't know what a furry is.
Sadly, I
Yeah.
do know what a
readjusting.
furry is.
Yeah.
So yeah, a furry. I don't have the actual like dictionary definition, but it's someone who's attracted to animals, and usually not like an actual animal. Like they don't actually want to go out and fuck
That's
you
what I was
know,
going to say.
dogs
yeah,
and
it's not-
stuff.
Not bestiality.
No, it's not bestiality. It's usually they like sort of personified
Yeah.
animals and stuff
Like
like
dress
that. So
up,
if you
don't
see like a cartoon of like a animal human hybrid or something like that. I'm trying to think of like an example.
Like Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, like Jessica Rabbit.
But
Stuff
Jessica
like that.
Rabbit is generically hot.
Jessica Rabbit. Was Jessica Rabbit actually a rabbit?
Yeah. It was,
Oh.
but like she just looks insanely hot. Like it's just an
Yeah,
insanely
she
hot
was-
drawing
yeah.
of like a woman. But
Yeah.
that also happens to be a rabbit. But I guess so
Yeah.
maybe not more. Don't they also like dressing up like animals and fucking
Yeah,
each
so
other
like
and
I think
shit?
like from like
Yeah.
Furry
real
con.
like tame sort of like furries will just have like a I don't know, like use a butt plug that has like a big foxtail on it or something and like
Yeah.
fuck their missus like that or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And then but then you can also go to the extreme where like you dress up with like ears and face paint and
Yeah.
the tail and sort of act like an animal a little bit while you're getting fucked or whatever. So that's what a furry is.
There's a great all gas no brakes.
Oh yeah, I like that.
There's a one where he goes to a furry convention because they have like big gatherings, big
What's this, the
conventions.
channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel of a guy who just interviews people
Mm.
at different events. He's done one at Burning Man and NASCAR rallies and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
one of them he's a
porn
furry
convention's
convention. Yeah,
one
the
of the best
porn
ones.
convention's great.
Yeah. But
he's
yeah,
just
he
at this
does a
porn
furry.
convention,
Yeah.
and he's just like a pretty normal looking dude. Like,
Yeah,
maybe he's putting on a bit of a character where he's like a bit uncomfortable, like.
Yeah.
But it's just great.
Yeah.
But the furry one is just bizarre.
yeah,
It's just insane.
yeah.
Check that
So it says here that a little over 2 years ago, people were delighted to discover that in the replies to every tweet from @RealTonyTiger, the official Tony the Tiger Twitter account, dozens of mascot mad furries could be found begging the serial tiger for sex. So he's actually been like driven off Twitter now. So there isn't a Tony the Tiger Twitter because of all these furries just being so explicit in the replies. And obviously Kellogg's are trying to be like family friendly.
Yeah.
But
like a Tony the Tiger of Twitter where he just goes on and says things are great. Or
yeah.
whatever.
So they tended to be pleas written in what grammarians refer to as the horny imperative. So, for example, Real Tony Tiger, fist me, Tony. One user wrote in 2015, "I love you."
Clip that.
Yeah, we know Tony.
Fist me, I love you.
We know Tony wasn't a fan of his more adult-orientated followers. In 2016, Tony started blocking accounts for their lusty replies. When the furries revolted, the account made what seemed to be the only acknowledgement it's ever made of the Tony the Tiger's incredibly horny fan base. And Tony tweeted, I'm all for showing your stripes, feathers, etc. But let's keep things great and family friendly if you could. Cubs could be watching." Yeah, and then eventually...
That's one marketing.
Imagine being
someone in the marketing department
Yeah.
trying to go, oh, do we address this? Fuck.
So and then eventually the @RealTonyTiger Twitter account disappeared. So you go to that URL and it's not there anymore. And then just one that's called like Frosted Flakes appeared. But obviously all the tweets are still there from when people did tweet @Tony the Tiger. So we've got some tweets I can read out here.
Brilliant.
Let's have a look.
Great.
So Tony tweeted out it was some like promo thing of him riding a bike, like a tandem bike. It'll be up on the screen, I guess. Just a tandem bike with some guy and like a kid. I don't know if that's like a famous guy or something. As some like promo, and said, "When silly Insta dad Shalom Bursh Solomon invited me on a bike ride, I figured there would be multiple bikes, but this works." And that is it. So like just some stupid like company tweet,
Whatever, yeah.
like that's just stupid. But the replies to it are what make it. Where are they? Fill me up with your frosted flakes, daddy. Is one. Tony, please put your whiskers in my arse.
Fucking hell.
Hey, Mr. Tony the Tiger, are your flakes frosted? Just want to suck your dick, please.
Just cut to the chase,
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
didn't they? Fucking hell.
Tony, I don't need your flakes. I just want your delicious love, your milk and sweet frosting inside my mouth. Could you please do that for me, Daddy? That'd be great.
Jesus.
And then, these are the replies to the ones of him riding the bike. Would you invite me, Daddy, on a bike ride and teach me how to ride you?
Oh, Jesus.
Can you show me how to ride on you?
Of course they yeah.
Those thighs, that sweet booty snap. I want to yip it all off. And then someone just photoshopped a photo of Tony the Tiger's head onto like a bodybuilder, but like really poorly. That'll be up on the screen. But yeah, it's just like a box like Tony the Tiger's head. Frost my ass, Daddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure photoshopping is the correct term for what they did there.
Yeah.
I don't imagine they did that in Photoshop.
No, definitely not. That's pretty much it. That's all I really
bizarre.
wanted to talk about. Yeah, so he eventually just obviously like didn't acknowledge it. A bunch of furries kept getting blocked, and there's a lot of accounts of him being like, "I can't believe you blocked me, Daddy. Please unblock me," and all this kind of stuff.
Fuck.
And then eventually, like the Tony the Tiger account, just after tweeting "Let's be family friendly," they obviously didn't, and like that's gonna work. And like, could you imagine if everyone's like,
okay, fair enough.
all right, fair enough.
Is there a Tony the Tiger like after dark account? Like
maybe.
Because that was the real Tony the Tiger. Is there another Tony the Tiger that's like come here, I'm going to stick my frosted flakes all over your fucking face.
I wouldn't be surprised
like a role playing thing.
Yeah,
it must be.
And he DMs them actually. Like,
yeah. So there's like a Frosted Flakes one, and there was like an uproar. There was a whole thing because obviously everyone was like, "Where's the Tony the Tiger account gone?" And then people were saying it didn't ever exist. Like it was like a Mandela effect type thing, and everyone was like, "It didn't exist. You're all just making it up." Like, look, there's no Tony the Tiger account. And then like someone dug up proof, like old screenshots. Like someone who's a big Tony the Tiger fan, like dug up screenshots of his like tweets with Tony, and look, it did exist. Like, you know, it's gone. And then someone found on a cereal box, there's like at the real Tony Tiger.
Brilliant.
And was like, look, see, it was there, and now there's just a Frosted Flakes account instead that doesn't tweet anything interesting. But
I'd love to have seen like the emails going around that marketing team as that was all going on.
Fuck do we do it?
Yeah. That would have been great.
Do you reckon, right, that this phenomena of knocking one out over Tony the Tiger, which I'm assuming is what they do, did this exist before the internet? Like, was there someone with just a fucking cereal box in the toilet?
Well, I think Furries is an internet.
Because it's sort of
internet phenomenon.
It's sort of thing where because they've already been doing it a little bit, and then when the internet started becoming a thing, they find each other. I know it happened with a lot of stuff, but like
it's like a subculture that's evolved.
But is it evolved purely because one person's gone, you know what? Actually, I might be.
Yeah. Well, it began on like a forum, didn't it?
Probably. Well, I imagine people forever have probably always had that little thing, or ever since humanoid
like cartoon things,
animals had been a thing. Someone's probably been like, oh, you know what? But it's probably always one of those things that like you couldn't talk about. Like I couldn't be like, you know that.
You didn't find the other guy.
You know, Crash Bandicoot, man. Like, trying to like whatever animal he is.
Or like sort of in your head, just chatting with other people, being like, oh, you know, when you just like eating your cereal and you just get a massive hard on. So obviously you have to go knock one out quickly over Tony the Tiger. You know when you're doing that and everyone looks at you like,
yeah. But I think once people go onto the internet and see someone else like me, and obviously everyone congregates, and then it might for some people it might trigger something, like they might not have ever actively thought about it, but there was something right in the back of their brain that's like, oh yeah, you know what, I could get into that, or like, and sort of like, or maybe experimenting a bit and being like, yeah, I do quite like that. So it's
in the very darkest recess of their mind, they just hear a slight "frost me, daddy."
It's gonna be great. Do you remember that advert? They're gonna taste great.
Yeah, I was gonna say about that kid. Is that
a classic? No, it's one of those bullshit internet rumors. I think that he like killed himself because he got bullied after "It's gonna taste great."
Yeah,
thing, and I think I've read up on it, like, and it was like he didn't really. It's not true. He just like, but I can't believe that he would have got fucking rinsed for it, wouldn't he? Though?
Yeah.
Like,
I bet.
We had a kid at our school who was actually on Dig It.
Right.
And he was actually like it was like in a couple of years above us, but he was sort of like one of the slightly harder kids. And he was like a presenter on Dig It. And my mate, just one of the guys I used to hang out with, just used every time we'd walk past him, he'd go, "Dig it, boy!" Like, and then he'd just run after us and try and beat us up. And eventually he got expelled for fucking dealing drugs. And I think kicked off Dig It at the same time.
Oh, mate.
I know, what a thing to do.
You might have to explain Dig It.
Oh yeah, Tom's sitting looking at us like, what the fuck? It was like Saturday morning television, which also we might need to explain. There used to be this thing called a TV. You know that thing that you plug your like streaming services into, right?
Oh yeah.
They used to broadcast shows on that, and you can only watch them at a certain time. So a prime, but so there used to be obviously Saturday morning television. It was, but it was a show. They were like Live and Kicking, Dig It. I think it was like, and they'd have cartoons and a presenter and shit like that, and like the presenter in between it was one of these guys. It used to do Sunday actually, I think.
Oh yeah. That's not the prime slot, is it?
That's not the prime slot. But if he got a bit of jib from,
that's not Saturday morning TV.
No, it's not actually. Right, I'll tell you back. But if he got a bit of jibbing from us, took like little pricks in the ears below. They're going to taste great, boy. He got fucking ruined, didn't he?
Absolutely. I'm sure I read an interview with him. Maybe Vice did an interview with him.
Really?
I'm going to taste great.
Frosties guy.
They're going to taste great. Guy.
Yeah.
I want to call back on that, please. I want to know about what happened to them. They're going to taste great, lad.
Episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, the writer of this article did email Kellogg's for their comment on their decision to change their Twitter handle.
That's some good integrity
and
there. Better than George ever does.
Yeah,
they didn't reply, but then they did put a public statement out there saying, oh no, they did reply, but they said thanks for reaching out. I mean, it was a writer at the Huffington Post. It wasn't It wasn't us. But it says thanks for reaching out. In July, the account was renamed to Frosted Flakes as we decided to broaden the content to more brand news. Obviously just like
we didn't want.
We had too many people wanking.
Yeah,
on Twitter,
too many people messaging Tony Tiger and
our
wanking
marketing
over
was
it.
too cum heavy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's so much filler in here that it's like hard to scroll through, but I pretty much just picked out the tweets and you get a gist for it as well.
A gist.
Yeah, that is a gist of it. So yeah, my other story was the 300,000 condoms, and then this was one that I dug up very shortly before starting the show. No sex, no marriage. Judge rules in rare annulment case because husband couldn't maintain an erection. So there's a whole lot of information beforehand about basically what an annulment is, but I think we all know it's just when you get unmarried, basically.
Yeah.
I think like it comes from if the wedding was not consummated. So if you didn't fuck on your wedding night.
Is this information we're like purely getting off friends again? Because that's my only. That is all my knowledge on an annulment, and that exactly not consummating it comes entirely from friends. But I assume it's true.
I think that's actually true. Yeah, that like that's
back in the day.
Back in the day, in the 17th century, Spain or France. That you like the wedding had to be consummated,
right.
And you would you could get an annulment if for some reason it wasn't consummated, like you never had sex.
How could you prove it? Did someone have to come in and like was there like an adjudicator who'd come in and really?
Yep. So yeah, I do have it. It might take me a second to find it, but it basically says like back in the day, people would come. In the 17th century, trials by Congress were undertaken by the Spanish and French courts. The act of copulation was attempted before a jury of medical professionals and others.
So the wedding night sex would have to be done before a judge team.
Yeah.
Like Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, it says the trials involved couples having sex in semi-private quarters while close family, legal observers and doctors awaited nearby.
What?
So yeah, back in the day, if there was any doubt that you might not be consummating your marriage,
they made you do it.
They made you do it. Yeah.
So what? How would that prove it one way or the other? What like?
Then you've at least had sex.
Yes, and
because if they see you having sex once, you've consummated it, right? I guess.
Yeah.
So why would you agree to do that if you wanted an annulment?
I guess it was like an arranged. No, like so. I imagine it's from when there's like arranged marriages and stuff. It's like my family, your family.
Oh, right.
Let's join, and then they get married, and they're like
seal the deal.
Just to seal the deal, we're gonna watch you bang.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Get proper close up.
Mate, I think that's weird and knocking one out over the Tony the Tiger. What would you rather do, right? Watch your family have sex or wank over Tony the Tiger?
What? Wank over Tony the Tiger?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, any day of the week.
Would you rather your family watch you have sex or your family watch you knock one out over Tony the Tiger?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I'm not answering it on mic.
I think the sex.
You think that's better?
Yeah.
It's less embarrassing.
Because it is less embarrassing.
It is less embarrassing.
The content that you're wanking over is like irrelevant. It's like someone watching you wank is like a little bit
bit personal, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
like if you're at least if you're having sex, there's like another person involved, so they're watching both of you.
In particular, right, my girlfriend was talking, and she's been talking to her mum and that, and saying about all the stuff that I'm doing. And she says, I just thought this for this reason, right? She was like, but basically saying, he does this recording, that's and that. And she was, he should do a podcast. And she was like, he does do a podcast. And Mum was like, let me know what it is, I'll listen. And she was like, nah, probably not.
Just kidding, he doesn't really. Yeah.
I was saying today as well.
Definitely don't listen after this one. There's some fucked up shit.
If I ever want to work as a journalist, this is probably doing terrible things to my future job prospects.
Yeah, especially as we just rip your journalistic integrity the entire time as well.
In some accounts, all that shrouded the copulating pair were thin paper screens. In others,
Like backlit, like in Austin Powers.
yeah,
You see the shadows.
yeah, or
pulling the
Kevin and
things out,
Perry Go
yeah.
Large. In others, the small crowd gathered behind a half-open door into an antechamber.
Do you reckon they'd have
Yeah.
refreshments like popcorn and there'd be a lady with little ice cream tubs come down at half time?
Half time.
Half time. What would you call them?
The interval. I like the way there's a half time in your sex. It's all right. Come on, I need a break.
I think this is referring to
Oh, my
like
orange slice.
yeah. I think this is referring to like one specific time in Paris in like the 17th century, and it says the entire trying event lasted roughly
Trying
2
event?
hours.
Yeah.
Lasted roughly 2 hours, punctuated by the kind of bickering achievable only by two people in hate. So like these two people obviously got married even though they hated each other and were like being forced to shag.
That sounds
basically.
bleak.
Yeah, it's pretty bleak, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like the first
Fuck,
like reality TV.
But the really bleak 17th century kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit, isn't it?
Everyone's got like syphilis and
Well, that's what basically like public hangings and that were, wasn't it, really?
yeah.
Same sort of fucking reason people went to watch them is why people watch reality TV, really. In a way.
Sure.
It's like
Yeah, it is, really,
like
isn't
a
it?
shock factor. People,
Yeah,
Well,
it
yeah.
is just like
in London, I can't remember. You know the Old Bailey.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there used to be another prison close to it. I can't quite remember the name of it now, but there was a obviously the gallows where they used to hang people. It was in like a public square, and opposite that there was a pub. I think it might still be there, and they used to sell tickets for the rooms at the top of the pub because they had the best view of the hanging. So it was
That's
like
cool.
an event,
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
event.
I've been in the Old Bailey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been in there a couple of times. Not for any
Crimes.
crimes. I had
Yeah.
to go and report on.
Well, there's a saying, isn't there? No one wants to see a man fall, 1,000 feet to his death, but everyone wants to be there when he does.
Whoa.
With their phones out. That's what
Yeah.
they fucking be now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happens. isn't it?
Sketching
Yeah.
back in the 18th century.
So anyway, this particular story comes from Canada, and essentially
We haven't even got to the story yet.
no. So the story is again, there's so much filler in this article, but a woman said her husband to be never let on that sex might be an issue from the date of their marriage until March of 2019. So it looks like they were married August 2018 to March 2019. So like 6-7 months or something. They attempted sexual intercourse each month. Throughout the couple differ on how many times a week and who was most willing to try. Regardless, Baker, the person, found nothing happened. The couple stopped living together after the woman asked her husband to see a doctor, who ended up assuring them both there was nothing wrong with the man. Basically, this woman couldn't get her husband hard and ended up getting an annulment after it. Yeah, according to the
I
judge.
didn't know that was a reason to get annulled.
But does this
Well,
mean...
because they could never have sex.
But does this also mean they hadn't had sex
Before.
prior to having... Were they like religious or something?
I think so. Yeah. 'cause
This
it
is one of the
says,
reasons you don't fucking do that.
Yeah, it says they attended counselling sessions at the Chinese Alliance Church.
That's their trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, religion.
Religion. Here we go, Tom. We alienated
I'm
one
staying
religion
out.
last
I'm
week.
staying out of any
Church.
religion talk. I don't want to get assassinated.
Yeah, according to the judge, the man blames the woman for their failure to consummate and even claims that he has a new girlfriend and they have sexual intercourse regularly.
Just boasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a strange...
That's pretty much it. One thing I did like about the article was the comments that I found.
It's a good place sometimes. For some-
Yeah, so Danny Noonan says, always take a car for a test drive before purchase.
Well done, Danny boy.
Yeah, and then someone replied to Danny and said, that about sums it up. Don't take the salesman along, though.
I
Jeff,
don't really... Do I get that?
I don't
Is
get
it
it.
just shit? Yeah, is it just shit?
I don't get it. Jeff says, learning on the job is slow and arduous work. Best to do some pre-game training and show up in playoff condition.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Big words.
Yeah,
Who's
a
that,
lot of
Jeff?
football analogy there.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And then the same guy who replied to Danny replied and said, definitely, there is that issue of forbidden fruit if you've never tasted it.
Ooh.
Again, I don't get it. I don't get this guy's
He's
joke.
flirting with the
Yeah.
other commenters, isn't he?
Yeah.
Forbidden fruit.
That's pretty much it. It was quite interesting. There's a couple other cases of other like weird annulments, and it says in 1937 a case a Peterborough couple spent the first 4 nights of their marriage in the same bed in the husband's parents' house's home. What the fuck? the husband's parents' home.
House.
Yeah,
That's his husband's home.
Yeah,
Husband's house is home.
the husband's parents' home. Before the husband tried anything. The wife said he made 3 or 4 attempts at intercourse, but on no occasion was he able to do so, although she was willing. That kind of contradicts itself, right? It says that the wife said he made 3 or 4 attempts.
At least he tried.
Yeah, but it says...
It didn't sound like the other guy was even trying.
No. And in 1947, an Ontario judge refused to grant an annulment despite a doctor's confirmation that a woman was Virgo intacta.
Does that mean
Virgin.
I think virgin, yeah.
still has like a hymen intact? Is that a real thing, the hymen?
The hymen is a real thing, but it can break like earlier on in your life.
Yeah.
Throughout, like, not through sex.
I heard it breaks a lot with like women who have horses.
Yeah.
Is that bullshit, or is that like?
No, yeah, I think that's true.
Apparently
that,
it is
like,
because of the riding
when
motion
you're like,
of breaking
yeah,
the
if you're like a
horse.
teenager or like a young girl and you ride a horse or whatever, it can just break.
Yeah, but it's not
Um,
actually like a sexual thing per se. Like,
No,
it's not.
no, it doesn't. You're not like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Like, it's just, yeah. I think it just kind of like splits and then
Yeah,
you
okay.
find a bit of blood and that's it. Like,
Okay.
No.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so in 1947, a judge refused to grant an annulment despite the doctor confirmed that she was a virgin, and testimony that her husband
That's a dark.
had told his
fucking-
father.
What cunt's doing that job? He's a wrong on that doctor. Isn't he?
There's, I'm sure I read somewhere that, yeah, fucking hell, I just frozen. I can't quite
Well,
remember where it
just to check
was.
in your head what
In
you
a-
read
in
before
a
you said it out loud.
There was a particular culture where, obviously around the world, virgins used to be like seen as
Hot.
optimal.
Oh,
I'm sure
so
it still is.
A
in
lot of people
parts,
used to
yeah.
have their parts sewn up to make it seem like they were still a virgin to be sold, or not sold off, to be married into wealthy families or
Hmm.
to kings or anything like that. It's grim, isn't it?
that's
Yeah,
why,
it's
like,
grim.
there's that old.
Fucking patriarchy, eh?
Yeah, you see it in like
Jesus.
in old like shows that are set really long ago. I can't like period pieces. that's what it is. Like TV shows and films and stuff
Yeah.
of like when like they've done it in Game of Thrones. I think when like when the couple get married, they check the bed sheets like the next morning
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
see if there's
yeah.
any blood,
Yeah.
See if she really was a virgin.
or just to see if they consummated it.
Oh,
Didn't,
right.
in Game of Thrones, they put some fake blood there, didn't she? Or something? Oh no,
No, she got like the
Spoiler
maid
alert,
to
fuck.
to
Fucking
hide
hell.
the stuff.
yeah. She
Right,
like
yeah.
got the maid was like, "There's no blood here" or whatever, and she was like, "Please don't tell." So the maid was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll go wash it."
Yeah.
She went and chucked it in the wash and put it on a spin cycle.
What was the like? What would happen? There was something that was going to happen to her if she.
She's not Game of Thrones chat.
yeah,
man.
I can't
it's
remember.
just-
No, I'm just like in my head. I don't know why that would
I
have been.
think she like would have got raped.
Oh, that's bleak, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
That was
Yeah.
worth waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Fucking
I don't
Game of
remember.
Thrones. No, I never watched it. Move on.
You're not missing much.
Nah.
Yeah, that was all my stories. Like I said, I did have the
Nice.
condom ones, but
I
you
particularly
fucking
enjoyed
stole it.
your first
The
one.
Tony the
The
Tiger
Tony
one
the
was the
Tiger
best
one
one.
was
Yeah.
it was great.
I should have
No,
more.
I didn't even. Yeah, I couldn't describe it any other way. It was great.
Yeah, the tweets are brilliant.
So
Yeah.
I want to know about. They're going to taste great, man, boy,
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
take I need to
child,
know.
probably a fully grown fucking man by now, I guess.
I mean, when
Yeah.
did
Must
that
be in
advert
his
come out?
must be in his 40s. Well, it was out in like the 90s when we were young,
Yeah.
and we were young, and then he was like a sort of, I guess, like 10,
Early
12 in
teenage,
that,
maybe.
early teens even.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got to be like in his 40s now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
what
else
else
was
we
it?
fact checking?
I
can't
don't know,
remember.
I don't know. I have to listen. Back.
Yeah, we'll listen back.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But yeah, we'll see.
Oh,
We'll go on.
And I've forgotten.
Great content again. We'll be back for the spooky special.
Yeah, next
Make
time.
sure
will
you
be the
tune
spooky
in.
Special.
Yeah.
So this is going up on when, the 20th?
I think like
That
I
seems
think
to be our...
I think if we're doing it every 4 weeks,
Yeah.
then it's the 15th is when it should
Okay,
be up.
all right,
Yeah.
nice.
Um,
That
yeah,
makes sense a little
so-
bit before, and then you got a few weeks, and we'll bang up the spooky special.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this just recently after it coming out, then we've got 2 weeks or so until Halloween, so you can tune in on Halloween. It'll be up by Halloween. We'll do it like a day or two before.
Yeah.
And you'll have a little spooky special. You'll be able to see us in costume.
You can put it on at Halloween and like turn the lights down in your house and have a Halloween special just sitting there for 2 hours listening to us.
And when like the
ramble
trick or
on.
treaters coming at the door, just hands them a QR code that links to our YouTube channel. Put that in there.
There will be a special guest as well on the spooky
Yeah.
special.
We'll have a special
And
guest.
also,
Curios
we've got-
Cast favourite.
Yeah, Curios Cast favourite. There's one favour we need to ask every single Curios Cast listener, and that is to give us a rating on whatever app you're using to listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Some prick has given us a 3-star rating.
Yeah, I don't know
Right.
what cunt done that.
If I find out which one of you has rated us 3 stars, I'm going to shake your hand because it's absolutely the correct
Yeah,
rating.
pretty fair
Yeah.
rating, I'd say.
But
it
no-
might have been me. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
might have been. But yeah, if everyone could drop us a rating, because it helps to do stuff. I don't know, boost
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Boost
And
us
subscribe
up
on YouTube
things.
would be cool.
Yeah, subscribe. And as always, if you do want to share any stories that you want us to discuss, email them in at curioscast@gmail.com.
Curioscast@gmail.com.
Yeah, curioscast@gmail. Or you can message us on Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, all of our like personal Instagrams are on the front page of the Curios Cast Instagram page. So if you want to, give a story to one of us
slide
without
into
the
our
other one
DMs.
seeing it, slide in those DMs.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's everything.
That is
right?
it. Brilliant.
Sweet.
Yeah. Thanks
Well,
for listening.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on the Spooky Special.
That's